The forge has gone quiet, the bellows blow no more. The forge has gone quiet, the smiths have gone home. Only fading embers remain, and my hearth grows cold. One kiss from you to rekindle it all.
Welcome back to Queen of Embers. I'm your Game Master, Daniel Fox. This is the gang that called people who made Zweihander awesome. You recognize them by now. It's like game session 67.
We've been here around.
I'm Adam Rose.
I'm Mike, the Mike Michaelers. Wait, no.
Are we really doing that?
Mike, where's my sunglasses?
I don't know.
Yeah, we really should, I think.
We haven't done that.
Who are you, Mike?
Who am I?
What was your last nickname in Dark Astral?
In Dark Astral?
You don't know yet because I haven't showed you.
Oh.
But you're Mike the Boss.
Boss.
Mike, he was Boss the Mike Michaeler
Yeah.
Okay.
in
The Player's Handbook.
Player's Handbook, maybe?
Yep.
Yeah.
Or upstairs Mike.
Is it Mike? Where's my nickname?
Is it upstairs Mike or downstairs Mike?
Mike, I mispronounce everything. Bossler.
Yeah, something like that.
I mean,
I thought it was Mike.
a little wordy.
Jason
In
Gordon.
the
The character folio, it's Boss the Mike Michaeler, which was coined by
Chuck?
Chuck.
yeah, it's Mike. Where's my nickname, Bossler?
Oh, that's what. Okay. I have so many, I forget.
I think.
Hey, who are you?
I don't know. It's a very existential question.
It is, right? This is not Mad Men. It's not like you're on the verge of
Right.
existential collapse. Who are you?
No.
I hate women. God, chill out, Don.
Damn, right here. Right
I
now.
know.
Anyway, I am Kay, or Elisa. I don't know what else to say.
That's it.
Cool.
I'm Nick O'Hare, and I play Warren, Rhodes, and She. I've been playtesting Zweihander since the beginning.
Well, we go the beginning.
Whoa, whoa, whoa.
Since Corehammer.
Hey there, old man Tim.
Since Zweihander, since before Zweihander was Zweihander.
Since before your beard was...
Corehammer.
Oh, man,
That's a really cool game.
Yeah, I
If
guess
we-
my beard still had.
If you do a Robots
Color.
edition, you should call it Corehammer. Because that's great.
You started when my beard still had color, so yeah,
Yeah.
that's probably true.
I remember Corehammer.
I'm Tim. I play Banneker, not Bannister, which is a local mall here, or was.
It's a road, right?
I thought we were referring to like the stuff you find on the stairs.
Yeah.
Or,
The
yeah,
whole time.
you're Bannister.
Yeah.
Get hold on to the
He's a-
banister.
Well, it's because we're from St.
Hey,
Louis.
He's a handhold.
I am old. I do have to hold on to the banister now.
I've known Tim since he had no beard.
Yes. Yes. Dan and I have known each other since 16 or 17?
17.
17.
40s now.
We actually met after the ACT, right? But I knew,
We did.
like,
Yeah.
Eric because of skateboarding.
That's right.
Hi, I'm Jason. I play Eugene.
You're the youngest.
I'm
at
the
table.
new guy, the youngest one.
Yeah.
In both playtime and in real age.
He's our baby face.
Yeah,
New
they
guy.
like to tell me things like, "You didn't watch fucking show with cats growing up?" And I'm like, I don't know. What are you talking about?
Thundercats.
What? Yeah,
Thundercats.
I get
Cat
it. Scared
show.
of weather.
Thundercats, ho.
Thundercats, ho! Thunder! Thunder!
20-minute conversation before the session.
So we're on our 67th game session, dangerous and close to episode 69, where all rolls of 69 are crit successes.
I'm not gonna have a
I
single
can't wait
one.
till episode 70 so you stop saying that.
Yeah.
We've been
Remember
saying it for
last
like
game
almost
where-
like
For like, since we get to episode 60.
yeah, I think since like 60, we've been saying for like the last 9 game sessions.
See,
Bigger
you got like
question
2
is,
games
do you
after
think
that
we're
of
gonna
us
make it, like,
remembering
exactly
that
100?
69s were.
So
We're near
consider
the end,
this:
Like,
Maybe not 100.
we've played.
Probably not 100 sessions.
consider this.
If we assume that every session is about 2.5 hours, right? So if we're on 67 times 2.5,
It's 130.
167.5. So we've played. Here's how many days of games we've played.
Wait, before you give that number, if you've been listening along this whole time and you feel ashamed for wasting your time, feel free to skip ahead and miss this part.
That's right.
Smart. The timestamp on
30
the
seconds. 30
167 roughly hours of game equals about 6.9583333 days of games. So if we just played
Talk
for
about
7 days straight, we could have did this whole thing, guys. I mean,
Yeah,
I don't know what
no
we're doing. To O to B 15 again.
Yeah.
I
Right?
think the
Oh,
thing
to
with
have
this,
to edit
it's 2.5
this.
hours of video, but there's quite a few bio breaks in there for us.
Sure. Yeah. Yeah. So
No.
Biologicals must happen.
So it won't work.
Yeah,
That's
no.
right.
Well, we got there. So can we find
So let's
And we didn't even go.
let's just
drive by?
let's pick up where we left off. So we know I'll prime the pump, so to speak, and then someone can take over. We know that the last game session started. Oh yeah, that's right. What's up? We're not sponsored by Coke. We're sponsored by Zweihander.
Boom, Zweihander.
The bigger, better, darker
Boom,
fantasy
pearls.
RPG.
Don't say that. It's
The
Coke. Don't
taste
come down on
the
me.
taste
Don't
of
put out
Grim
an
and
RPG.
Perilous.
I'm gonna have to bleep out Coke. A very Grim Perilous taste. You have no idea what we're drinking. It's a new
Dr.
flavor.
Mindbender. Is that
Dr. Mindbender. That's right. We're actually microdosing while we play. Surprise! I laced everything with just a little bit of MDMA.
Well, now
So-
the games make more sense.
Yeah.
Fuck yeah, they
So
do.
much more-
How long does it take for? We asked this last time. How long does it take for your drugs to take effect, Elisa?
An hour.
Well, in an hour, you'll find out if you've been microdosed.
I started drinking this 30 minutes ago. We
Well,
ain't got that
30
long.
minutes.
You pregame today.
Pregame. No, so last time we started in the encampment outside of the Bruno Lehman mines. You had piloted the Madeline through Cauldron Lake, up the Axwater, through Cauldron Lake, and down the Bastards River. And now you're just maybe a few days outside of Durendal. And the boat, you kind of dropped anchor in the Bastards River just outside of the Bruno Lehman salt mines. And of course, to the west, you can see the huge soaring snow-capped peaks of the Steadwall Mountains. And then obviously you know that Brigandine is encamped outside. Sir Embers Reich, or Lieutenant Reich, as you knew him back in the city, when he had no beard. Now he does have a beard. Because, you know,
That's
Star Trek The Next Generation, like, it's... I've been sitting on that joke for so long, you have no idea.
What?
I read that joke literally in the beginning of Act 1. It's not
You
Act
still
7.
haven't gotten to use it.
Yeah, I finally get to decide. When he
Nice.
finally reappears, he has a beard. That was his why he's named Reich. Riker. Come on.
Riker.
Okay.
Number one.
Number one.
No.
Number one.
This is going to
Megas.
do another dissertation. The shit
Mega.
you ain't seen.
But so we know that you came here and kind of began to kind of uncover some information, which was Bruno Lehman had left Durendal months back.
Basically, right after we left.
That's right. After he was denied a third time by the Baroness, and he has cut off the salt back to the city. If you remember, in Durendal, it is not only just the seat of power in the girdle, but it is also the source of where gunpowder is made. The Night Soil Collective, the Saltpetermen, and the Guiding Hand all kind of work in concert to create gunpowder, and it is really the thing that allows Aglador to have power against the North and other countries now. And this is the source of it. So we know that broadly in the story that Baroness Madeline Dupre is attempting to divorce the girdle from the rest of Aglador. And we learned last game session, in fact, the agent of change, the first minister, Cole Marius, who is the spy master, if you will, of the king.
Assassin, spy master.
Little everything, wording shots, not words. And the father of Elisa Marius is in Durendal to see through the transaction of the secession. But what's important there, the leverage that the Baroness has in this relationship with the king to the west, King Cassander Malister, that she has gunpowder. And the salt must flow. It must come down the Bastards River back to Durendal, because there is a what would you call that? Like a food chain. Like the gunpowder the salt comes down, it mixes with the Night Soil Collective's collection of human waste, night soil, and then it is crafted by the saltpetermen into gunpowder, and thus that is how it all works. And the Baroness's power is primarily through gunpowder. So that's
Production line?
what's that?
Economy of scale.
Circle of life.
Circle of life. That's why you find out that Brigandine is here, along with a salt painterman named Victor Malik. And inside the compound is Bruno Lehman, who's been here for some time, and his brigandine, which includes Sir Leland, a man who you had kind of a bad run-in in
Only one of us.
in Founders Square back in Dorado, way back in
Yeah, can we really limit that
Act 2. Yeah.
to one person?
Yeah.
Well, you know,
The rest of us followed the rules.
these things happen.
We made nice.
You did. So you came to the table and you parlayed with him, and in that parlay, the discussion was, well, we have evidence against Bruno Lehman. He clearly is the one who ordered the assassination of Rosalia Mansfield. We get this piece of paper. It's got a seal on it. So with his best man, David, his right-hand man, rather, with Sir Leland's right-hand man, David, you descend into the Bruno Lehman salt mines. What happens from there? What do you discover?
Well, there's it seems to be quiet at first. There's nobody near the lift or anything like that. And as we're moving along, we see somebody like kind of scrambling, like they go off in another direction. We start following them, and we realize that these people are ransacking and looting the place. We're trying to get to them to answer a few questions, but they believe that we're like after them because they're looting, when we just want to know what's going on. After that misunderstanding is cleared up, we know that there are two important people here, and I struggle with names at the beginning of the session every time.
Kenneth and
Algiers, yeah.
Algiers and
Lehman?
Bruno Lehman, yeah. So they don't tell us exactly where Bruno Lehman is, but they tell us where Kenneth and Algiers is. So we go and we talk to him first. And he tries to run, but some of you guys were a little too smart and blocked the doorway. And we asked him some more pointed questions. While we were doing that, there was something about the relief that one of you guys noticed, and I can't remember all of it. Was it Elisa?
It was Lisa first, and then
Well,
Eugene second.
No, the relief was a match to what was in the Esoterica. No, it was in the La Vinci house. It was the painting matched one that we saw in the La Vinci house, if I remember right. No, the stairs reminded us. It was from the Esoterica Durendal. It matched the description of
the painting loss.
Painting, yeah.
Right.
And then his livery had a symbol that didn't match the seal that we saw.
That's right.
Most pointedly, it was in reverse.
Yes.
Whoa. Seal. You're talking about whose seal?
Bruno Lehman seal.
The seal that we saw on the paper. The pig or
Yeah, it's
boar.
a pig.
the boar.
Yeah.
Pig. Boar.
Pig.
But
It's really the same thing.
We also noticed, I believe it was
Pig is boar. Boar is
Harper
pig.
had noticed that this guy doesn't look anything like the guy he had actually followed and been keeping an eye on in ages past. And
Yeah, and Kiltirian, yeah.
looked nothing like him. But this is either a different man altogether, or the man you were following was a falsity. So, which was the other big nefarious bit we noticed. But then we
Another thing, supposedly there are some what Terran would call monsters down here. They're rumors of the Siabra that supposedly work for Bruno Lehman, and there's two confirmed, but there were rumors of more.
Of unknown numbers.
yes.
Who knows how deep this
And they're
mine goes.
setting up mysterious machinery that emits
yes.
a crackling sound.
And we think the
bright
difference
flashes.
machine is here.
Yes. But we followed this man to go find Bruno, who took us to like his office, in which we noticed that the office had like a lacking of substantial documents or anything really in the entire area. We found, I think it was a ledger book sitting on top of the desk with the like chest for the coffers, which I believe was empty. I don't know if we actually.
We never looked.
I don't think we even looked at it.
We never even lifted it.
Did anybody take the ledger?
Somebody did.
There were 2 ledgers, weren't there?
Yeah.
There were, but were they taken? That's the question.
Somebody took.
I want to say at least the ledgers.
I know, I did not.
Nobody
I know I
wrote it
was
on there?
gonna state it, but I don't know if I actually said it out loud.
Oh.
I'll be honest.
Yeah, I don't think
Because-
it.
But your intention to take it?
It would have been.
Okay.
At least it would never leave paperwork.
I think
behind.
we
So hold on. So Lisa, if that's the case, you have Bruno Lehman's ledger, but you also gained 3 corruption.
That's fine.
Thievery. Sorry, go ahead.
Evidence, we'll call it.
That's what you'll have to say.
I'm preparing
that's
this.
Stani. So we were taken down or to the back office through a locked door, which led to his personal chapel. Went in there to find a staircase heading down deeper. But the odd bit about the staircase is that it was meant to be defensively held from below, similar to how you would go up a defensive tower staircase on like a castle, but in reverse. And that we would be at the disadvantage. Headed down into a dark room lit by.
We'll stop here. We're going to rewind just for a moment. So, as you come down this winding stairs, it emerges into this small round chamber with an arched roof. It's clearly carved from the white salt cliffs, as is the rest of all of the Bruno Lehman salt mining operation, the barracks above everything else. And inside there are these braziers that are burning with hot coals inside. The air smells of cinder and alcohol. And as you walk in, you see that there is this low stone pool. In the midst of the pool is this short statue, about 5 feet tall, of a man with long frayed robes, and his one hand is extended out, his right hand as if to shake yours with this broad smile, and behind his back he has 2 fingers crossed, like such. And then dancing around him are these smaller statues of these wicked-looking animals / children, like you would see like in a medieval text, but kind of carved of stone. And their hands are interlocked, and they're dancing around this figure in the middle of the pool. There's 9 of them. But the statue appears to be convivial and jovial, with a very friendly expression. But the fingers, of course, are crossed behind his back. I mean, just within the flashing of light from the braziers, you can see there are gold crowns all at the bottom of this low stone well. And up on the edge of the pool, on the edge of the lip of the pool, is this fellow who's wearing stained purple doublet. An older-looking fellow who's pretty heavy set, not because he's old, but because he lives a life of luxury. And he rolls beneath of his chin, his hair's beginning to thin, and he has a pewter goblet in hand. And he takes a long swig of water that's inside of it, and some of it spills on his shirt, but doesn't really seem to look up at you as you come downstairs. He seems almost resigned, and then he says, "Are you here to kill me? Sent by my former partners, I'm sure. Well, here's your damn blood money!" He looks up with his eyes widened, and you can smell his breath as he tosses a handful of gold crowns as they roll across the floor as you come to as you're at the foot of the stairs.
We ain't here to kill you. We're here to talk to you.
He looks up and he's having difficulty holding his head up. The man is clearly inebriated, but he's sitting.
Tillman, this may not be the best time to talk to the man.
I know that. But I appreciate you saying that. But you see, and I'll start to say, Lord, you need to at least let him know that you're not going to kill him. Because that's not what he's here to do.
That's not what I'm saying. Is well, now that he's aware of that, one for most brutish tactics, but perhaps we just simply apprehend him and take him out of here. Wait till he sobers up.
I'm not leaving. I'm dying down here.
You're dying, are you? You sick?
He looks in the cup, takes a long drink. It's all over anyway. One moment you think you're in control and you have all the power, and then the very things that gave you the power become your downfall, he says, taking another long drink, looking longingly in the cup. He reaches over to a decanter and pours more into his pewter goblet and almost drops the decanter in the water as he wobbles and kind of holds himself on the edge of the pool.
Yeah, I know what it's like. I feel like you're on top of the world, then someone who's got other plans that just thinks you're in the way.
That's right.
Yeah.
You have all the money, all the influence, all the power, but it's never enough, he says. You want more. He takes a long drink. You need more. And in the end, greed costs us everything, he says, standing on his 2 feet. He wobbles for a moment and holds himself straight against the nearby wall.
And when he starts to do that, I'll start to approach, holding out.
I don't need your help as you extend your arm out to help him. I've had enough help from everyone. This is the end, he says as he sits back down the edge of the pool, and he pulls out a handful of gold coins and they tinkle as they drop into the pool once again. He drops 50 gold crowns.
What makes you so sure this is the end, eh?
He looks at the cup. They're killing me.
Who's they?
Vincent Gelman, Marcus Sachs, Marilyn Lynch. Whole damn guiding hand. It doesn't matter anyway. We lost it all and there's nothing left for me, he says.
What'd you lose?
All of it.
All of what?
All of what we had and dwindled. The money, the power, the influence, all of it. And I lost the most.
I think if you just opened the salt mines again, you would have money again.
I told you, the guiding hand's coming to kill me, but I'm not going to let him. I'm dying tonight, he says as he takes another long draw from his goblet.
Can I move to see what's in that goblet or craft he's been pouring out of?
Sure. Oh, it's his lips are stained purple, as are his teeth. It's wine.
Okay. I was thinking maybe the poison Jennifer.
You got a plan, friend?
Yep, he says.
Is that your plan?
Time for planning and plotting is over. That's all. It's all over. It's all done.
Well, I ain't a man that likes to let another man drink alone. Mind if I sit and drink with you?
He looks around and grabs another cup off the side of the thing, and he puts it in the. Takes it in the water of the pool and kind of shakes it out to clean it out, and he pours you a cup and hands it to you.
I'll walk over and I'll sit next to him. Cheers.
He nods his head and takes a drink.
So, what's your name?
Name? Bruno Lehman, of course. You would know that. Oh no.
I ain't never met you. I'm making sure.
Well, I was a man, a very powerful and rich man. We had everything. Now it's gone. He takes the remainder of the cup and drinks it, setting his cup on the side of the lip and holds himself steady for a moment.
How'd you lose everything? Still have this. mine. Still have brigandine guards. Still seem to have quite a bit of power.
The same thing that gets every person, every man. Greed. Greed turns you to dark things. In our desperation, we turned to someone we shouldn't have. We agreed to something we shouldn't have, but we gave Abel all the power. Abel had control over all of us. Ironic, don't you think? A man as I was.
Abel. You've met Abel?
No, well, I don't know if we've met him, but we've heard of him.
Oh,
We met him.
Right, we haven't met that. We don't know that man from Adam.
Who is Abel?
Abel Mason?
Hmm.
He's the leader of the Mass Seabra.
Oh, that's not what I was thinking.
No, you see, Abel spoke to, what's his name at the academy?
The headmaster?
The Levinci.
Hausdorff, he says.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, he says. We worked with Felix Hausdorff, we did.
To create the Madeline.
No. To build the burning lenses.
Burning lenses?
To light the city, he says.
Well, like those lamps that glow green.
Oh. Light from the algal, light from the sun.
To set the city on fire. No.
No. To fuel the lamps of the city, we worked with Abel and Hausdorff to build them. He gave us the plans and we did it, and Abel helped us with the Zeppelins.
Mm-hmm.
He nods. You know? He kind of motions his hand through the air.
Zeppelins?
As in-
That's plural.
Yeah, we know of one called Madeline.
Oh, yeah. That one didn't go so well, he says. He lowers his head. We had this idea, you see, during the strife. You know? A way for all of Aglador to conquer the skies as our ancestors had conquered the world in the Second Age and make a machine nobody could withstand. No wall could stand against it. And we called it the Zeppelin. We toiled for years and couldn't get the damn thing to work until Felix Hofstorff stepped in to help. And then there's that accident, that big explosion at the Gildman and Zox foundry. It cost us a fortune. We were desperate, and that's when Abel Mason came to us with the plans, he says.
Plans for what? These lenses?
The Zeppelin, the lenses, he had all the answers.
So was Abel the one that was orchestrating all this, eh?
What do you mean orchestrate?
Well, you said you lost everything, and you put your trust in him. So whatever trouble you're in is essentially because you placed your trust in Abel.
The guiding hand placed their trust in the hands of Abel and even wormed their way to the top, although not directly. You see, Abel can wear the skin of other people. You wouldn't even know if he's among you right now. He turns toward Warren. He can see in your head. He can read your thoughts. And then suddenly this conversation reminds you of when you were with Felix Hofstorff back in Levinci Chapter House. He knows it all. The man can see the future. He can see in your mind. He can know your dreams, and he can squeeze what he wants out of you. And that's what he did in the Guiding Hand. And we did terrible things at the Lonely Island.
So
We thought we were just doing what was good for the business. And that was the beginning of the end, he says.
So Abel's a Ziabra that can be a guest in your skin.
I don't know what Abel is, but he doesn't wear a mask.
But didn't you? Oh, I thought you said the word Ziabra.
He's the leader of the Seattle.
Oh, he's a leader of the Ziabra, but he may not even be a Ziabra. Well, alright. So you've got a problem because someone sent supposedly sending some men after you, and you think that your only way out is to die.
Some men, the whole guiding hand, they're all in on it. I'm done. I was the weakest link. I started it all and I did the worst, and now if it isn't you who's going to kill me, it's going to be someone else, and I'm not going to let them do that. He takes the pitcher and pours more wine in and takes another long swig.
What?
So Rosalia.
Will you be drinking with him?
Yeah, sure, why not? I'll drink with him. Mostly because I want to be there in case he tries to like kill himself. I want to stop him, but I'll drink with him.
What if I told you that maybe you
Unlike last time.
What if I told you that maybe you could...
Good point.
Sorry. What if I told you that maybe you could find some protection?
It's all over. You don't understand. This thing's bigger than me. Bigger than you. It's all over. Barony is damned. This infernal contract that they've signed with this devil in a man's skin. Everybody is around this thing. It falls like flies.
No, seriously. Like...
Who else has signed this agreement besides the guiding hand?
Well,
surely not the Baroness.
There's been no signature. It's those who participated in the ritual at the Lonely Island. That was the agreement with Abel to see all these things to happen, to place the burning lenses in the city, to finish the Zeppelins, to go to the Lonely Island and do terrible, terrible things, he says. So much death.
That's where all the students got killed.
Yes, he says.
Or sacrificed is probably a better word.
The
shadows obviously leading him.
The shadows took them. In the ceremony, when you're on top and there's so much to lose, you'll do anything to hold on to it. It was like a wet catfish trying to control Abel, and we didn't realize that he was the puppeteer and we were the marionettes the entire time. He wipes his mouth free.
So you sound like somebody who may have had some regrets about getting involved in this.
The time for regrets is over. A man such as myself and my position has no room for regrets in one's life when you're building a largesse, when you're building a legacy. We've been doing this for decades. We've been colluding, all of us, the guiding hand, to fix prices, to remove the import tax from goods coming into Rindle. Hell, we are even the ones who suggested to the Baroness to bring the girl status to the city.
Bruno.
Cheap labor.
Bruno, which way does your sigil turn? Which way does it face?
He points one direction.
Is it the same one that was on the note, or is it the same one that was on the Kinnison's stuff?
Same one on Kinnison's. What? What does it have to do with anything, he says.
Can you tell me what Kinnison looks like? Describe him to me.
He described him as you saw him upstairs.
You're saying you don't look like, and I'll describe him as the way I saw him at the dinner party? Or the ball?
He shakes his head. My major domo's never been to Kale Tyrion.
Huh.
He's been here with me in the salt mines for months.
You see.
If Abel wears a different face.
What if I was to tell you that we want to help you?
Doesn't matter. I told you. Death has come. I've put just enough folkbane in this pitcher here to kill a man of 5.
I've almost had folk banes before. You can live. I can show you how.
I'm telling you, you have a chance.
You carry all this. You put no room for any regret, and then it piles on you like some great snowball, and the weight is too great to bear. I have done terrible things, irredeemable things. Nothing could lift that That's why before the guiding hand kills me, or some great ball of fire outside of a foundry kills me, or some assassins come to lure me outside to have me torn apart by wolves, I'm dying here on my own accord. The last thing I have control over is my own life, and Night Father willing, I will take it tonight.
I slap that out of his hand.
It clatters across the floor.
Hey, I'm telling you, you was framed. We've got proof. We can clear your name.
You don't understand. You're not listening. You think it's simple.
It's never simple.
You killed some people. I've crushed people in Durendal. Hundreds and thousands of people over decades. You know nothing of pain. You don't understand. Don't pretend that you do. You do things for your whatever color you wear on your side, or whatever warrior, whatever duke that you pledge or bend your knee to. The only duke I bend the knee to is the Nine Father. And the only thing I do anything for is for my personal gain, and the martyr is coming to collect tonight.
I slapped that one out of his hand.
I'm just taking a drink.
Oh. And
Dramatic.
I say,
you Grolstaders,
you don't even.
you people, how many of you are in Durendal?
Outnumbered. All of us.
I
Maybe tons.
brought you to Durendal, and it was my doing that it put you and all your people in the girdle in a situation you're in, crushed and seen as the other.
You can't take credit for all that.
I'm the one who brought you here. I am your father. I am your fucking mother. If it wasn't for me, you would have all died at Stonehold. So I merely had you displaced down here for you to toil and for you to suffer just a little bit longer. Because we all must suffer, shouldn't we?
Trying to test me.
I'm just telling you the truth. The Baroness didn't bring you down here on her good wiles. The guiding hand convinced her because the labor was cheap.
Yeah, but do you know who he's talking to?
He kind of, his mind gets, he shakes his head.
He's talking to, and I'll open up my lapel to show that he's talking to the Dufresne Agency. We can clear your name.
Dufresne? Alexei Casimir came marching down here in his youth during the strife and said, I have a flag and a plan. And he put it on Steed's Hill outside of Durendal, and he said, look at me, I'm a soldier. And that's what the Dufresne are. Pretenders. It doesn't matter. The only person who has control in the girdle isn't you, or the guiding hand, or the saltpeterman. It's all Abel Mason. The Baroness isn't even a matter. All of it. Senseless, useless. Parading around in your colors and your standards, pretending to be important. Trust me, I've had a lifetime of it, and I can assure you, it doesn't matter what's on your lapel. It doesn't matter which lord you bend the knee to. Death is coming. And if you'll listen to me, and I will give you this important lesson that life is pain and death, and the only control you have is your own life. And take your own life. Otherwise, you're going to be stretched out, put through the rigor of a life of toil in service to others, having no true control, thinking you have some semblance, some fleeting moments.
Well, now, you see, I don't even subscribe to that amount of control that you described, because I've been in plenty of situations where I couldn't take my own life.
And here you are, wearing the symbol of the people who you think can clear me or whatever it may be, but you were still in service to another man. You had merely bent the knee to an ideal. It won't matter. I can already see the darkness coming. he says as he stands up.
Before you go, where can we find him? Where can we find this old Abel man?
Abel? Mason?
Mm-hmm.
And Durendal, I think. But some of his Siabra and their infernal machines are here in the lower tunnels.
What are the machines?
There. He kind of wanders for a moment, kind of trying to think as his eyes are dilated, his skin is like really, really pale.
While he does that, I go and I cut my hand up against Warren's ear to whisper to him. So you think a good shot to the stomach will make him throw it up?
I think it's too late. He's been drinking a while.
You don't think we can save him? I mean, he knows
But you probably should not stop drinking that.
Oh, I stopped after the first cup.
He knows,
Once you mentioned Folksbane, it was like, thanks, I'm good.
he knows so much. If we could keep him alive, it'd be like this could be the best find we have.
The machines. The Siabra. All Abel Mason's people have been bringing him here for months. Testing their infernal machinery in the salt mines away from Durendal's prying eyes and ears. It was part of the agreement, you see, to finish the Zeppelins some number of years ago. Even as we had the burning lenses installed in the city, the machines kept coming. And we agreed that secrecy was important. We didn't want our competitors to find out. And we let Abel Mason and the Siabra do what they needed to do here in the salt mines. But their explorations border on madness, and when they lacked in workers who could understand the machines, we worked with the river vipers to bring in slaves, children who were still fresh of mind, who could absorb the knowledge more easily. The Foundling Wheel Orphanage is where we started. We work with others throughout the city to bring more and more children. And the river vipers ensured a steady flow of them.
Where are they at?
You what?
The river vipers. Where do you find them?
You'll find the vipers, you hire them.
Where do you hire them?
We're everywhere. The criminals.
Is your contacts up in your ledgers or something? I've been meaning to hire them for some time.
Well, you need to go to Durendal, he says.
How many people are down in the mines then? Children or Siabra or whatever at this point?
God knows, I don't go down the lower tunnels. I fear what I might find. I told you, there's no redemption for me. I have done terrible things.
You're starting to convince me.
How will we know it's Abel when we find him?
He smiled. That's the thing. He can wear your skin. He could be me right now in Durendal. I don't even think Rasputin Hexenstern understands what Abel Mason's intending.
Hexenstern works for this man?
God, no. Hexenstern's too upright. We just manipulated him like a machine, like a horse, like where you break a horse. We did the same thing with all of the Velvet Throne. We convinced Hexenstern, the Baroness, the whole lot of them to build these lenses to power all of the lights in the city. And in return, we got the Zeppelins finished.
Wait, so you're saying that there's children down there working right now?
He lowers his head. The Siabra have been at this for seasons, he says.
Well, thanks for that information, but there's children.
You already know the answer to your question.
I got a question.
Yes.
How did you get the differential machine away from Hexenstern?
The what?
The differential machine? Like a big old calculator type thing?
Abel Mason brought it.
Last I heard, it was Hexenstern that had it, or took it from the tower.
Well, Hexenstern wasn't here. He doesn't even know anything about what's going on in these mines, save for the fact that we sent salt south, or at least we did. Hexenstern is innocent as the children, he says, stammering, that are down in the mines of the Siavra.
What about the rest of the Bell Guard?
The Bell Guards?
Right.
All ignorant to the plans. I'm telling you, when the guiding hand, have engineered this with near perfection, and if it wasn't for Abel Mason and his ability to see into our minds, this would have never happened. None the wiser. The lenses are built there in the towers. The Bell Guards are attending to them. And whatever Abel Mason has intended for Durindal, well, it doesn't matter now. He begins throwing up on the ground as he begins seizing, and he falls to the floor. He begins throttling around as he's clearly going into a seizure at this point.
Warren, is there anything you intend to do about this? This is right outside the rest of our expertise.
That fucker can rot for all I care.
I'll try helping him out. I have heal. Yeah, I'll try to ease his suffering.
You kneel down, and his tongue is bleeding at this point. He's biting down. His whole body is like arrested in like a seizure. Go ahead and make a heal test. This test will be routine.
I'll give it a shot.
It's too late. There's no helping him.
Well,
this is to quickly diagnose.
Yeah, 59. That's 06 success.
Oof. Okay. Clearly, he's been affected by multiple doses of Folkbane, and you suspect that it's a number of minutes before he expires.
Yeah.
You would need anti-venom to save him.
Okay. I don't think I have that. I don't think any of us have anti-venom.
I do.
Sir, yes.
Well, if you're willing to give it towards the cause, we can at least take this man to trial.
He's thrashing and rattling. He hears
I'll
death rattling.
Go for it if you need
it. Boss, save him or kill him? He killed himself.
I mean, I'm going to help this man regardless, so I'm going to go ahead and just do it.
Yeah, like, Terran is absolutely silent, just like...
Right. He's on the kill kids, or kill the killer for the kids guy.
Kill kids.
Yeah.
Kill kids.
Kill kid to kill... Yeah, something.
Well, you promised this man, you promised you would not kill this man.
I'm not killing him.
Right, so I'll administer it.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you give him the antivenom to keep him from dying, and his heart rate slows down tremendously, and you can still his breaths are panicked and short, and he's clearly about to die at the point where you administer the antivenom, and he is probably going to live, but as his eyes blink, he can't move his mouth or his limbs as he is paralyzed from the neck down. He will live, but he will not be able to speak or ambulate.
Well, he ain't dying today.
Yes, but the information he told us is merely conjecture to anybody outside of here.
This man is here. I'll look over this man. You heard it all.
Kinnison's eyes are wide as he jumps to his master's side.
We saved your lord's life. We would have known exactly what he was taking. Could have saved him more.
He looks up. He wanted to die.
That was your master's oath.
And I wanted to kill him, but I didn't. Sometimes you have to you have to choose what's most important to you. And trust me, you don't want to tell me that you had any part in this.
I played Major Domo to many masters over the years.
It's a good response.
I've kept all the secrets, he says. He holds his head high. The Genevieve, the Dupre, Layman.
And you see, it's that Jenny name that's saving you right now. And so this kid's down below. He's not going nowhere.
We should take him up.
I'll take him up.
One thing before you do.
Mm-hmm.
This man could be able. He could have been lying to us the whole time.
Okay.
Strip him down, look him over.
What are we looking for?
I search his pockets.
You know the mark on me? Maybe he's got one too.
You have a mark on you.
Well, I suppose you might want to look the other way.
It's a body. What do I care?
Oh, no, he's still alive. See, he's blinking and breathing.
Who's gonna look for the mark?
What kind of
I'll
mark is
look
it?
for it.
You will.
I will help him look for it.
Okay. It's going to be a folklore test, and it's flip to fail.
May I assist as I'm looking for it?
Yes,
we're looking
it
for.
is standard.
Okay.
Or I'm sorry, it's not standard. My apologies. It's a secret test, and it's flip to fail.
Secret.
Alright, I have that.
You may be familiar with this when people look for witches' marks and they misinterpret. That's why it's secret and why it is a flip to fail.
Yeah.
I have
I don't know. It was a witch's mark.
54% chance to succeed. I rolled a 51.
Will you keep it?
Hmm.
Okay. You find a curious growth near his waist. The man is covered in moles, but a curious growth.
Does it strike me as anything that is medical related?
It is a curious growth.
Curious.
Yes. It could warrant further investigation.
I'll take the time to do that.
Do you have your surgical tools?
Yes.
You will need to make an arduous heal test.
What you looking at there, Warren?
I'm gonna
I'm gonna make sure I have it. Hold on.
pat down and go through the man sermon, the major domo. Because if we're gonna be like tying them up together and securing them, I don't want this guy to be like, and I've got a knife on me.
Oh, of course, the major domo carries the gentleman's kiss. He has a stiletto concealed within the lapel of his vest. He hands to you by the handle.
Thank you. Anything else? Take your boots off.
He opens a pocket and he gives you Bruno Lehman's signet ring.
That.
As you saw before, it is the bore is turned the opposite way.
So if I want to take my time on this, I need to take a look at whatever this is.
No.
Could be medical related. Could be something more left-handed. You know what I mean?
Anything you
It
think?
may take some time to look it over though.
The moment we're up here is another moment those kids are down there.
All right. Those kids have been down there for seasons. I mean, I don't mean to be a mean bastard about it, but
He's got a point. The situation we need to probably
But
need
if
to
they
speak with Brigandine.
but if they heard that Bruno is leaving, what might they do to those that are down there that are not Sierra?
Also, on top of it, if they know the end of the mine is at hand, they may not want to leave evidence. Every moment we waste could be a moment another one dies.
Bruno Lehman is not leaving.
I have a feeling that these Sealbren know what his goals were tonight more than he did.
I mean, we can look at him again, alright?
He's not going anywhere.
I mean, go ahead and look, but let's try it.
I'll keep it quick.
is that arduous?
Okay, so
10 minutes.
34% chance to succeed. 13 success.
Nice. It appears to be some sort of curious growth. Could be cancerous. Could be telling of something else.
Well,
Hard to say what it is.
It's a triple nipple.
It's something.
It's just
You know, we
happens to be done.
Oh wait, it's just bubblegum, damn it.
we could have learned that like 10 minutes ago just by looking at it. Alright.
Well, don't get all high and mighty on me. You ain't the one that knows all this shit.
Hey, next time you need patching up, we'll
Alright.
talk to Warren.
listen. If y'all want to go cave diving, you can. I mean, do we even have any idea where these folks are?
I assume down the other tracks. The ones to the left led here, the ones to the right went deeper.
We need to include Brigandine in this.
I'll ask
It's
Mr.
just up
Algiers.
the elevator. It's not like that would take that much time.
Do they have any sort of maps of these mines?
Kenneth straightens his cravat. The lower mines are the domain of the Seabran. The tunnels they have carved old tunnels that were long depleted of minerals, salt. No such maps exist. The Seabran have repeatedly went lower in the tunnels as well. We don't know why, but it was never for Master Layman to inquire. Abel Mason simply ordered it, and it was just simply that. Bruno asked no questions, and him being my master, I would of course not break that trust or seek to intercede.
See all the dug too deep.
Well, let's get them back up topside.
I have been Bruno Layman's servant for years. The man is disreputable, yes, but I have served him loyally, and now he is dead.
Well, he's still breathing.
The man is dead.
Skeletons. So you know where all the skeletons are buried.
I have kept Master Layman's ledgers myself. I have been their keeper. I am was his major domo.
Again, so you know where all the skeletons are buried.
I can.
I was no loyalty to your master. You just said he was dead.
I can provide context, I suppose, where Master Layman, Bruno, cannot.
All right. So we take Bruno.
We take them both. Because you made a promise you wouldn't kill the man. He killed himself, and we tried to save
I'm
him.
killing him, but don't you're asking if we know where the skeletons are buried? Don't we need him with us?
We need both of them, but we probably need to include Brigandine in your plans.
Yeah, I was gonna go and
We tell
say-
David he's sitting at the lift.
That's right. He was
So-
holding to make sure the
Right.
Well,
Right.
let's grab him and take him back to Leland.
Alright. I'll help him up.
If we turn him over to him, he can see that we didn't do anything wrong to the man.
Fireman.
You
Fireman.
heft up Bruno Layman, and you begin making your way back through the tunnels.
So how many coins were just thrown at us on the ground?
There's no telling how many coins inside that pool.
I'll leave the Nine Fathers poured alone.
But
Whatever was thrown in
there are
us.
9 crowns on the floor.
Picking those up.
There we
You
go.
take all 9, or you leave one for the Ninth Father.
That would be standard.
That's, it's like tussle over your shoulder to where
I'll
away
throw one in
witches.
the pool. I'll take 8 and throw one.
Okay.
I mean, I'm a superstitious fellow. Let's be honest.
Eugene's not. I'm going to take a handful out of the pool.
Of the handful you take, you manage to grab 18. Will you leave 2, or take all 18?
After seeing him throw some back, nah, I'm still not religious. I'm going to take all 18.
Superstitious.
Riding's on the wall.
all right.
I gain 2 misfortune points.
So I imagine this is what the statue looks like. The break.
A little bit. His fingers are crossed behind his back. So, you take Layman, and you come back, you kind of make your way back through the halls. The servants are gone. They've already looted what they can and drug away chests. And you come back into the main vein of the salt mines, a great, large, looming tunnel, and you grab one of the lamps. You remember there are lamps all over inside here, inside the living quarters at least. And the darkness is encompassing all over. And the light kind of flickers this way and that. As you can't quite see the ceiling, but you can see the walls. It's just kind of that whitish salt and granite everywhere. But the ceiling's a little higher than what you can see. And you can see that, of course, every once in a while, about every 10 feet or so, there are huge bits of timber that are used to support the entire tunnel. And there are tracks that run through the main vein. You simply follow the tracks, just like David said. And just on the edge of your light, you see two people laying face first in the salt. And you can see blood beneath their body. And you can see a trunk spilled open with a few pewter decanters, a bolt of cloth that's unfolded, a golden candelabra just lying in the middle of the tunnel.
I draw my rapier.
Okay. On a piece of paper?
Yep. Draw it out. Show it to Sarah. Now may I use it?
You would draw the rapier quickly.
Terwin nods his head up and down. He draws his sword and shield, and you see a circle and a line with a smaller line through it.
It's not much.
It's clear that they've been killed on their way out.
Right.
Do you want to continue toward the lift?
Yeah, I want to make sure that the brigandine soldier is still there.
You move through the tunnel hurriedly, and every once so often, here and there, you see another person slain, and another, and another, and another, as you realize that these servants have been set to the slaughter. And
Hey, what do we think caused this?
Violence.
Well, yes, but was it arrows? Was it bullets? Was it...
You want me to examine the body?
You remember when we first came in? The thing that crept away in the shadows that we couldn't catch.
Mm-hmm.
That. Or its friends.
And that's when you get to the lift. And the lift is there. And beneath of it is David, and his head has been crushed like a melon, with his brains spilled out across the floor, and the iron helmet almost pinched completely in half, and this bits of bone and blood and matter spread all underneath of it. Those who see this scene of violence, if you don't have indifference, you need to resist versus stress. This is a resolve test that will be challenging.
I love that half of us are like,
4,
oh.
6. Sooner than later, that will happen as well.
Success.
Failure.
Oof.
Resolve. You said, what was the resolve for?
Against stress.
Challenging?
Challenging, yes.
Fail also.
So you take a few panic breaths as you gain 3 corruption. And as a result, you also suffer 10 mental peril. Oof!
I remain.
Your heart begins to beat, and you can feel your blood begin to race, and your sweat beads on your brow. You're not afraid, but you're stressed at this point. And your eyes kind of quickly dart around, looking toward the apparatus, the series of counterweights and ropes that suspend that lift that brings the lift up and down, and including the bell rope that we use to signal to go up. The bell rope's been cut. The huge ropes, like huge mooring ropes, like used for ships, appear to be singed. They're slowly smoldering and smoking, like something very, very hot cut right through them in twain, which seems impossible. It smells like burnt rope and chemicals. There's a strange smell of almost like the smell of like iron that's been struck with a hammer against an anvil that lingers in the air. The lift has been completely disabled. You look all the way up in the darkness and you see a tiny, tiny white mote of light. Almost, God knows how far up.
Any way out of here? Over the night.
Kinnison, at this point, he's taking panic breaths. Not through the upper mines, but I don't know. Who would trap themselves down here if there wasn't a way out?
those who know another way out.
Zeobrins.
Well, we've got no choice then than to go that way, as I point towards the one way we haven't gone.
Like the emote in Dark Souls. Those go to the lower tunnels. That's where the Siabra are.
So no, there's
Not through the upper tunnels. No,
there's no. This is
sorry.
above board.
Oh,
There's
yeah.
no ladder.
No.
I can't imagine. That seems very.
They're not up to ocean these days.
That's right.
Redundancy.
The lift. Here's the thing. The lift looks large enough to support 2 wagons abreast.
Right.
This thing is
Oh yeah, you talked about
incredibly sturdy and seems to be a very complex construction, the likes what you would see in, say, modern castles to use to bring stone up and down. It's not just merely a lift with a winch and pulley. It's a very complex metal machine, but it's all supported by these ropes that are used, like they use to moor up galleys in the dockyards, like huge, thick ropes about the width of your thigh, and they've just been sliced, which you could not do with a knife. It would take you an hour to cut through that rope because it's been treated against water, against wear and tear. These are super strong rope, and they've been cut. This is the single thing that would bring somebody up and down and would be reliable. And reliable in every sense that you would imagine reliability would be, but there is no ladder, no. It seems impossible that these ropes could have been cut in the amount of time that you were down here. Something foul is at play. And the smell in the air kind of gives you, it's a very queer smell. Very unusual.
Harper, had a suspicion of, bottled lightning previously.
Mm-hmm.
Does it smell like that?
Roll a scrutinize test. This test will be easy.
Okay.
Is the guard's gear still here?
40.
He's pinned underneath the lift.
Oh,
yeah,
so
he's been crushed.
So his weapon's not attainable or anything like that.
You said easy?
Yeah.
Succeed. So with the 63.
It doesn't smell like ball of lightning at all. It actually smells like the reek.
Kennison, have you smelt this before? Seen anything that's cut through something like this before?
Smells like the reek.
What's the reek?
Were you not in Durindal months before? That terrible smell that perpetuated the whole city?
No.
No?
We're
Well,
not
there
from
was this
Durindal.
terrible smell that perpetuated the whole city and caused some of us to get sick. Not like gonna die kind of sick, but I had this infection in my eye that Warren had to treat for a while. It was very unpleasant.
Speaking of unpleasant, we really have no other choice.
Right. I mean,
But this, have you smelt it elsewhere? Has it come from down below in the mines? Have you seen anything like this before?
When we had spoken with Brigandine over the months we'd been here, they did tell us of this reek of Durindal, this smell. They said it came one night and then was gone nearly a week or so later. Some believed it was coming from the Grolstead accounts in New Grolstead.
That's untrue.
it came from the island.
The one with your moving shadows?
Right, the Lonely Island.
That is his name.
We went there on a boat.
Yeah.
Captain Jack Sparrow. I mean, sorry,
Jonas Sparrow.
Jonas Sparrow. There we go.
Well,
That was me, not
Actually,
sorry.
It was by me because remember Jonah got drunk.
Yeah, Joe.
He got drunk on the way out. He got drunk there. And
He got drunk on the way out and on the way back.
what did Jonas Sparrow say he saw when you're on the island? Do you remember?
Lights,
Some like terrible shadow, right?
lights, and terrible shadows.
And the smell. And the smell. Now you all smell it too. And
Dead
it
kids.
does remind you of the smell that was coming from not only the city, but from the island.
You might be seeing them shadow monsters real quick.
well, at this point, turn to Tyrwin. Let's be about this. I don't wish to stay down here for too long.
See any big circles? Don't walk in them.
Don't walk in any big circles. Got
Yeah,
it.
drawn on the ground.
We'll pick up any keys.
I hold forth the key that I took off the major dome.
No, any that are on the ground.
Oh.
Pick them up.
Are we truly going into the lower mines? Kinnison says. His voice is quivering.
Keep
in this
your wits
way.
about you and
What
mess
other
up his cravat.
What are other choices we got?
Yeah, I
Do
mean,
that
if
for
you have another choice, then let us know it.
Is there a way to communicate with up above?
No, just the bell to alert the miners in the yards above that we are ready to be lifted, but the bell's been cut.
Well, we can still use the bell and at least tell them that something's fucked up, right?
The bell rope's been cut all the way up. You can't even see the damn thing, he says.
The bell
He
is
points to
not-
where it would be, and it's gone.
The bell's
It's
not,
like
Yeah,
gone.
they were way up top.
the bell's not down here. The bell's up there.
I guess that makes sense.
Rope.
What about a gunshot or a warn shot? That alert them something's afoul?
'Tis explosions down here to use to cut through the rock. It is part of the mining operation, would not be seen as unusual.
Yeah, even so, I mean, that one's got to end up somewhere. You know, you cast that spell, it's going to hit something.
Stealing.
What goes up must come down.
Well, I'm saying.
Yeah,
you
yeah,
could
all right,
see-
all right. So I think we've talked this to death.
Let's go.
Hold up.
Peculiar choice of words.
Can we please make mild preparations?
Sure.
Where are your oil stocks? Where are your other lanterns?
There are lamps.
Where are your where's your food stocks and your water? I'm not going down into the pits of fucking hell without.
I can take you
supplies.
to the larder, he says. He will take you back to where you started, and will show you there is a larder fashioned in stone with a hanging meat, plenty of lamp oil, lamps, no lanterns. This is for living accommodations. There are extra bedrolls. There are a few spare sets of miner's clothing. At this point, who's been carrying Bruno? It's getting heavy.
Yeah.
You've drug him around for about a half hour now. You're starting to feel the pain. The pain.
Should we just
I
leave
put
him
some
by his...
sunglasses on him and
That's
put
right.
him in the booth.
Weekend at Bruno's.
Yeah, I was gonna say, it's still weekend.
We get Bruno's, yeah.
Well,
I gotta stack up on some oil.
Yeah, I'm gonna grab a couple pots.
Remember, every pot of oil is one encumbrance.
Yep.
So you may take as many pints as you like.
every pot is one encumbrance.
Yes.
I have 11 on me still. I restocked
It's a
after the
pint of
last-
oil.
The last one.
I'm going to grab one.
Take as many as you like.
Everybody should grab at least one if you have the.
Remember, every week's worth of provisions is one encumbrance too.
I might as well grab a week's worth
I
of
knew that.
provisions, yeah.
Your clothes are sticky and uncomfortable, Amish.
I figured.
Sorry, Harper.
Yeah.
Harper.
It's alright.
Hey, he deserves it.
All's fair in love and war.
He deserves
Marvin
it.
War.
Marvin War.
Yeah, so you managed to get some preparations in case you end up down there,
Do they have
but
any-
you still have Bruno Lehman here.
Do they have any medical supplies?
No.
What if
Anything of value has been taken.
Okay.
the man is? Should we leave him and come back for him?
I mean, we leave him, he's gonna be dead.
Tried to kill himself.
Right, but the
Can't
idea
speak.
is that
They've killed everything that breathes that's not them at this
Or
point.
how many
He'll
bandages do
die,
you have
even
on
though
you?
he only breathes in this.
man can still
I
do
didn't
it.
They're
bring any
junkie.
down there with me.
You do as you wish, but
Give you the two I have on me?
So we're gonna do this because nobody's gonna convince anything of anything at this point. Raise your hand if you want to leave Bruno here, so we can expedite this.
Yes.
Okay, so Bruno's coming with you. It looks like.
oh, I mean,
Yeah.
I'll leave him. He's got nothing to do with me.
Yeah.
I mean,
So
I gave my.
your votes are you're outvoted by the group to quickly wrap this up. So
Okay,
Bruno will
I'll
be
take
drugging
my
along
one
with you.
corruption for voting against him.
You know, you're fine. You don't take any
Oh.
corruption for that. It's just a matter of who's going to carry Bruno the entire time down below.
I am not carrying him.
Harper will commit himself to it.
Okay. Kinnison will volunteer to help, although he'll be little help. He's not trained in the same ways that you are.
He's not a spring chicken either.
He is Kinnison's an older gentleman. He's probably in his 50s, but more importantly, his hands are soft as velvet. The man has lived a blessed life as a servant, a major domo no less, which is an elite profession. Sorry, expert profession. In Queen of Embers. It's a step out from servant.
Yeah, because Harper's not carrying anything anyway. It's not like he's has armor or weapons or anything like that.
Alright. Are we ready to go now?
Yep. I'm gonna fix my oil into my lantern shield so I can just use it to carry my light source. And I'm gonna fire that sucker up and open the port.
So, to clarify, we all know how long a lamp burns, I trust, if you're using lamps.
6 hours.
It's in the Trappings chapter.
Okay. So,
Who has lanterns? Because lanterns are better than lamps, right?
lanterns cast. Well, consider this: a lamp is what you use. Like it's like what you use in a home.
Right.
It illuminate a room. If you look, in fact, if you look in trappings, there's a whole section on light sources for this reason because light's important. And darkness can be scary. So if we look here, and I believe if you got a player's handbook, I want to say it's on page 245 or sorry 240. It's on 242. A lamp will give you 1 to 5 yards of perfect light and 6 to 19 yards of fleeting shadows, whereas a lantern gives you 1 to 15 yards of perfect light.
Oh my god.
And then 16 to 39 yards fleeting shadows, but you don't really know what those tunnels are like down below. The main vein is kind of like winds its way like this, so a lamp can go as far as it wants and still not penetrate the darkness. A lantern. So, does anybody have a lantern or just lamps?
I have a lantern
I have a
and
lantern.
torches.
So So a torch will burn for an hour and gives you 10 yards of light. A lantern gives you 15 yards of light and burns for 6 hours. A lamp gives you 6 hours of light and 5 yards of perfect light.
I have a lantern shield.
So same as it. A lantern shield will give you light like a lantern, but it's only in a straight line. It is not in a
Radius.
Yeah. So around the table, we'll start first with Eugene. You're using your lantern shield. Banneker.
I'm gonna hold on to my lantern and my torches and my extra oil.
Okay. Do you want to carry anything lit?
No.
Okay. Warren or her?
Warren for now.
Okay. Are you gonna carry any light?
Nope.
Okay. Elisa,
She'd light our way.
do you carry any light?
Yeah, Elisa will light one of her pots to start
So
with.
you're-
To trade off.
a lantern or a lamp?
Yeah, a lantern.
A lantern, okay. You kill her, you can't do anything, Harper. And then as for, I want to say Gwydia, Terwin.
Terran is going to walk with sword and shield drawn, so he can't carry it.
So you have but one light.
Two, right?
One lantern that illuminates everything around you.
Mhm.
And his light doesn't matter because you're in the radius of the light. So it's useless.
Oh, well, I was gonna.
Oh, I was thinking one lantern may not cover the whole party. If he's got enough light,
Oh,
I'll say.
well, keep in mind, so once again, a lantern gives you 15 yards of perfect light. You'll have
Perfect light.
Yeah, you'll have shadows around you from where people are standing, but you'll have perfect light in 15
Then
yards.
Elisa will just have it loaded and ready on her belt.
And keep in
Well, mine
mind
is
that,
only one way.
that a lantern shield's ability to distract
Mhm.
is useless in light. Just to be clear.
It's made for dark.
That's
No.
right.
No, I'm just
That's
preparing
right.
in the event they put out a light source. We
That's
still have
right.
Something lit.
Perfect.
Okay,
So-
so if nobody
so
else
you
is
keep
gonna have
yours.
Keep mine. Okay.
Okay.
Okay, that's fine.
if nobody else is gonna have it, I will.
So
That works.
you carrying Bruno as Kinnison and Harper are, and his body is clearly seized and paralyzed. You turn to the left-handed path and head down into the lower mines, and you notice that the stonework here is fashioned differently. It looks like it's a mixture of kind of rough hewn cades and stone that's been fashioned almost into like heavy pillars, like it's meant to be built here, and it begins to wind its way down. And it isn't too long until you find kind of jutting off of one side of this left-handed path, you find what looks like miners' quarters. And as you kind of come outside of it, you can see that there are rows of dirty, lice-ridden cots kind of lining the nearby wall. There are piss pots in the corner. There's a chest at the foot of every single one of these cots. Some personal belongings, but nobody else is here. None of the children. The city of lost children. There are none here. You can hear some steady dripping kind of coming down below too. And some distant echoes as well. Like a strange echo of something moving, vibrating, scraping, banging, tinking further down the left-handed path. And you can see from the quarters where these rows are, there's actually a smaller antechamber that's blocked by a door. Otherwise, you can continue down the left-handed path. So there's a room beyond that room, but it's locked. It's closed. The door is closed.
Do we want to check that?
Sure. And I'll go and open the door.
You come through the miners' quarters, and you come to the door. The door is locked. It's closed. And there is it looks like a heavy set stone door. It's not made of wood or it's hewn of salt. It's hewn of rock. And it's fashioned into this threshold. It's a very, very large, heavy door. It appears to be locked. There's a big iron rung on it that you would use to push in or the door.
Was the skeleton keyword that he took from the
Yeah,
demo?
the one I have from the demo.
Good question. Where'd you get it from?
The demo.
Yes.
Mhm.
Major Domo Arigato,
Major Domo.
Mr. Kinnison Algiers. You place the key into the lock, and Kinnison, those keys are only for the right-handed path. The key does not turn the door.
Where would the keys to the left have?
You see Albrin, he says.
Sounds
Lisa
great.
Lisa.
holds out her lantern. Someone
I'll hold it for her. Like, I'll sheath my rapier and hold the lantern up for her.
holds her picks.
You can actually see a little bit through the keyhole, just a little bit, and you can see there's light coming from inside. Has anyone here ever played the game Thief? When you look through those keyholes, you can see just a little bit of light and some dust motes. You can't make out what's inside, but you can see that there's a faint light coming from within.
There's some kind of light.
And movement inside too, but you can't hear anything. It's too heavy.
When she says that, I'll stand right next to her.
Okay.
Be ready.
You lean down. Your test shall be standard.
I'll move to the back to protect our rear.
She begins working the lockpicks.
So that is a 55% chance. 59 will not do it.
Would you like to reroll? You have
Trying to see if
5 fortune points at this point. 5 fortune points, 2 misfortune on me.
Can I just attempt again? Or is that
Sure.
a fail?
It's going to be a challenging test.
You can take your time on any test.
That's
And
true.
It's just double the amount.
Triple.
Or triple. Sorry.
Unless you have
Used to be double.
determination, then it's additional plus 10.
I-
Or if you have the burglar professional trait, like the one that Kay walked through on her Twitch the other night.
I'm rando. Yeah, I do not actually have
Okay.
any of that.
So it's challenging now.
I will go ahead and take my time.
Okay, it's going to be standard then.
60 still won't do it.
A few more minutes pass, and you don't manage to get it this time. You feel that it may be getting worse.
I'm gonna go ahead.
Misfortune. Okay,
Yeah.
so that's 3 misfortune for me and 4 fortune for the players.
That time it worked. 25.
Okay, you hear a soft clink, and the tumblers turn. You want to open the door now? Who will push it in?
Elisa's gonna step back, take the lantern back.
I reach on my rapier.
Okay. As you push the door open, inside is this small shrine, and it looks different than the one you saw before, the Nine Father. In fact, it's a very small, very, very shallow chamber that has served as some sort of impromptu shrine. It was clearly blocked for a reason. There are dozens of candles lighting the chamber. The chamber's maybe 6 feet across. And there's dozens of candles kind of all around here where they've been slowly melting. There's, hundreds and hundreds of candles have been burning here. And only 12 are burning right now. You can see the paraffin and wax is spread all across the floor. And you notice that the walls have been carved with a relief. Not with high fidelity by any means, but it resembles kind of what you saw before. The relief you see before, but with lower fidelity. But it doesn't appear to show the Saint Messiah at all. Instead, it shows a city with 3 pillars of light. You're not sure if it's the pillars are rising toward the sky, or if the sky is casting the light down. But the city appears to be on fire, and it's carved into the entire circumference of this room. But what's even more curious, immediately you notice, Harper, is this small 3-foot statue, a perfect likeness of the Baroness Madeleine Dupre. Instantly recognizable. And that statue's actually fixed into a bed of warm embers. The flickering candles cause shadows to play against the wall that makes the city look like it's on fire. Maybe it's meant to look that way, maybe it's not.
Maybe this is a plan.
It's the lenses. Do you remember him saying they were in the towers? The lenses that they created were put on the towers.
And I'll point to the statue of the Baroness. What, so they mean to... It looks like she's in Embers. Like she's the queen of it.
At this point, Warren, you need to make a challenging resolve test.
Alright, this is going to be a 54% chance to succeed. 32.
You shake your head and the whispers subside as they're talking. You can hear them bantering back and forth. Nobody else notices, by the way.
Oh. Huh. Yeah, maybe this is their plan.
Sweet, so we know that they's trying to light the Baroness on fire using lenses. That's great. Let's go.
Looks like they're trying to light
The city.
the city on fire.
Well, yeah, but I mean, you see, like, so
Oh, we can't talk it to death. Let's get fucking going.
that's what I'm saying.
Right.
What? Sorry, Warren, man. I got my wineskin. Do you need a little nip here? Or?
I don't think so. Just
All right.
Let's
it's
go.
pretty dark down here. Is
Wait.
what I'm saying.
Elisa's gonna look around where she thought she saw the movement when she was looking through the keyhole.
You look toward the walls and you can see the shadows playing upon it. Because it's a relief in the stone, it has the illusion of the city being on fire.
Okay, so that's
Because
all
the way
she
the
saw.
shadows are moving across it, the city doesn't look like it's on fire. It does look like if you were to remove the candles, it would just be relief with either 3 pillars of light going up or 3 pillars of light coming down over the city. You don't see the angel that was shown before. You don't see Saint Messiah in the relief either. But the way the shadows from the candles play upon it, it looks like the city is burning.
So, like, she squints and she goes, "Oh, that's what I was seeing."
Yeah,
Okay.
that's right. That's right.
Well, let's move on. Pictures aren't going to do anything. Not right now.
Taryn will carry on.
You leave the small shrine and pass back through the sleeping quarters, where you realize that the tiny small bodies of these children have been sleeping for God knows how long, pissing in pots. I mean, living in their own putrescence, their own filth. Hi, and we're back for Queen of Embers. And where we left off, you had just stepped out into the left-handed chambers and passed through the...
And Eugene's dead. Oh,
That's right. You moved through it. You found these kind of off the side of this side chamber in a miner's quarters in that strange small shrine. Warren managed to somehow shake away the influence of her being in there. And you're now continuing the lower levels. And you realize that you can hear the sounds of mining echoing in the tunnels. And then suddenly there's this kind of like drop of stairs. And at the foot of it, at the foot of the stairs, are about 5 powder kegs full of gunpowder.
That's a lot of gunpowder.
And as you descend down these broad stairs, you realize that this opens up into a larger chamber to your right-hand side. In fact, one could say we may have something to reveal. Let's pull this up.
Afghan mystery.
As you descend downward, you discover a chamber just off to the side.
Is it the Chamber of Secrets?
It's funny. It's actually what the name of the act is, and
Is it really?
it is, yeah. And as you, and we're just going to move the figures off here. We'll use one figure to represent everybody, just so we can kind of keep this all kind of pulled together and in order. But as you kind of descend down, we'll use this figure, which is going to represent Terwin. You see this other chamber kind of off to the side, which would be right here. And in that chamber, there's probably another 5 powder kegs full of gunpowder. You can see rope and twine and fuses running up the walls. You can see that there's a plunger nearby used to set it off. The air is really, really dry. And as you step into this room with a lantern, you kind of secondhand step back as you oh shit, if you had a torch, you could have set this whole place on fire. The whole thing could have went up with just a single crackling or dropping of a cinder from the torch could have caused this entire chamber to explode. And somehow you avoided. But as you look around, you can see a series of other there's another vein, another place to go through here, but if you look back here, it just simply collapsed.
Has it been booby trapped to collapse the tunnel?
Well, that's
Is that
a
what it
great
looks
question.
like?
Why don't you go ahead and roll a skullduggery test?
Okay.
Could I assist while I'm looking around with the lantern?
Absolutely. The test will be challenging.
I don't have skullduggery,
Oh,
so I can't accept your help.
You can.
You can.
You can.
I
Yeah.
have it.
Yeah.
You
You just still flip to fail.
You still flip to fail.
Okay, and you said challenging?
Yes.
Okay, 36. 19 does it.
Nice.
Or
Actually,
91.
it turns at 91.
Oh, 91.
A 91 does not.
91 does not.
No, the both of you are looking at it, and given that none of you really understand, I'm assuming nobody has stoneworking or a gunpowder focus. We want to invest some focuses. You really don't know what its intention is. You've never really been around this much gunpowder before, but this place looks incredibly dangerous, without a doubt. I mean, it is rigged, perhaps to explode. Maybe they intend to carry on with some mining operations here. It's all very much unknown to you.
Okay.
But there are,
Well,
but
that
there
makes
are,
sense. I failed and don't really.
yeah, but there are definitely kind of barrels in here. In fact, I will lay some down to represent them on the map now.
Just
so we
extreme amount of gunpowder, but
just
maybe
so we
it's
have them.
For the operation.
maybe it's to blow up, as Algier said.
I mean,
And I believe we said that there were 3 at the foot of the stairs too, if I'm not
You
mistaken.
did.
Yeah, so we'll put those down here.
wouldn't that be stowage?
Well,
If we move down to the battle map just to kind of show where these things are at, now our viewers can see it too. So this figure, of course, represents the party. And there's, of course, the chamber here full of the gunpowder that you just explored. There's a dead chamber over here. It's been blocked off. And there, the darkness kind of continues this direction. So it's not like there isn't anything else to see here, but it's very evident by what you're seeing here that this is clearly meant to, it's part of the mining operation. It's probably how they managed to dig so deep in the earth. I mean, they wouldn't simply, with you consider this, if it's children who are down here, they're probably not mining through their tunnels with their bare hands like this, or with mining picks. But you can hear sound. You can hear sound coming from deeper within.
you remember why the 13 is called the 13? The 13 grams, right? Gunpowder can blow up so much. Seems a bit excessive, doesn't it? Anyone else?
Oh no. And then
It does seem excessive, especially for the amount it takes for one shot of fire.
I mean, do we
But
want...
again, I don't know mining, nor the usage of explosions.
Maybe that's not even much you need for mining. I don't know.
To me, I thought it was maybe rigged to booby trap, but I wouldn't be able to tell you that because I don't know.
I would
Fine,
keep an eye
fine.
out for machinery.
Move
See if I
forward.
see any pipes or anything like that.
Nothing that you've seen so far, but that does remind me you do need to make a challenging toughness test.
I am going to look around to see if I can note anything that might be like tripwire or some kind of trap that would be set in the
Oh, two. Success.
chamber.
So you're a little tired from carrying Bruno, but you're still you're still not petered out yet. You haven't lost all steam. Obviously, Elisa, you're looking along the way for anything that may stand out. I would like for you to make a secret skullduggery test. This will serve for the remainder of this scene.
Okay. I know we kind of used it with the sigil, but is my true detective whatsoever going to kick in for this?
You used it previously.
So it is for the sigil. Okay.
That's right.
Just making sure.
You did indeed.
All right. You said a secret. Skullduggery is 55. 92 is not going to do anything. I'm not going to reroll.
Well, you're paying attention nonetheless, and you all kind of reconvene back in this main chamber, and you can see that the path continues on. And as you emerge around this corner, just
Critical failure.
as you're literally
Yes,
almost following
That was any failure.
the path, you can see, and we will
No,
move
it's
back
saved-
to
it's
the
saved
camera
for
here for everybody.
Saves
You can see that this tunnel opens into this main chamber. In the main chamber, there appears to be stone fashioned in pillars that support a taller ceiling. And running along this main chamber is this track. And your lamp kind of illuminates everything in front of you. And you can see that the chamber continues forward a little further, a little deeper inside. You can't quite make out what's over there because the light doesn't quite extend that far. It also seems to go further to your right where the tracks lead deeper underneath in the lower tunnels. So the question is, do you want to proceed forward to explore the darkness, or will you turn to the right and then follow the tracks deeper into the mine?
What is our objective here, too? Are we saving children or are we finding a way out?
We need both.
Both, hopefully.
Well, then I would suspect we should follow the tracks, as it's likely to take us to the children. If they were forcing them to mine a secondary way out, they might know where it is.
Alright, let's do that then.
Should we leave any?
There's places you
What?
can't
What's
even
on your
you can't
mind?
pick. We
I'm
can
not-
pick through every nook and cranny.
Well, I'm not a military-minded person, but should we leave areas unexplored in our rear?
I don't hear anything back there or see any light. Who would be down here
Well,
lurking
this-
in the dark?
You don't need to be
The operates.
military minded for this, because this wouldn't really happen in the military. So, suppose we could go that way.
Well, let's put it this way: If I was going to kill you all and I led you down here, I would
You'd want to surround us.
Yes.
Right.
Well, you would have set off the damn gunpowder back there. That'd have been the easy way.
Annika, I also want to point out, it's a damned if you do, damned if you don't situation. Right. We either follow the tracks and we're exposed behind us, or we follow the darkness and the tracks are exposed behind us.
And that's pretty much been this whole investigation, damned if you do, damned if you don't. And so, no matter what we do, if we continue to argue about it, we're just wasting time. So, I think that that's a splendid idea, making sure that we cover what's behind us. Let's go and take a look.
Right.
So you turned back the direction you came, just to ensure that you didn't miss anything, because who knows what could be back there. As you move past the row of 3 gunpowder barrels, and you come to a similar set of stairs that were carved much like the ones you came out of before, almost kind of in parallel to one another. And as you look up the stairs, you realize that the tunnel has collapsed. There's boulders there, and you could see that there used to be fuses that ran along the wall that led to it. There's splinters of wood and iron and stone. Clearly this tunnel has been collapsed manually.
Well, I think what he meant was going the way that wasn't tracks.
Yes.
Either way.
Yeah, but I mean, that's...
I'm good.
So,
happy with
just
the
peer in there, basically.
Yeah.
Who is going to lead the way toward that dark area?
I will.
I'll take a second.
Okay, so we'll put you right about here, and you want to stand beside him.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're
And just off to the side to shine my light ahead of him.
Oh, love it. That's a good idea, actually. So we will put Eugene here beside Terwin. What about yourself, Harper?
I figured I'd be more towards the back.
Okay. Something like this. And what about you, Elisa? Where would you be positioned? Center?
Since I have the lantern.
That's right, you do. Okay. And what about my apologies, what about you, Warren?
Just milling about. It doesn't really matter where.
Okay. And finally, Banneker, where will you be?
So just, I guess, in the back there, too. I mean, it doesn't matter.
Okay.
Again, I think I'm kind of like Warren. I'm just kind of milling about.
Okay. So, as you begin to push forward, your light illuminates another chamber in front of you. And it's probably a good idea that you did this, because as the light illuminates that next chamber, there appears to be a dead set of tracks, and there are 4 tiny bodies laying in the stone, and the smell of these children who've been living in their filth for quite some time is overwhelming. It is utterly overwhelming. And as Warren is milling about further down the tracks, as Elisa's light begins to illuminate, you can hear sounds, but you can't see what's down here at this point. But you can hear sounds coming from down that way. It's very clear, though, that in front of you, this is where, in this chamber that kind of cuts off an end, terminates on this very large chamber, there are the bodies of the children lying on the floor.
So they're dead?
You can't really tell from here.
Well,
They're not moving. They're not breathing. They're not speaking.
I'm moving to check.
You say something.
I'll
Go take a look over here.
Yeah, I'll step up with you so you have
Warren
brighter light.
walks into the room.
Okay.
I'll walk with them.
So you begin to come inside to see what has unfolded.
So since he's in there with his shining light, turn to Elisa and we'll say, just keep an eye that way. And we'll stay right where we are.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Elisa, your light's not positioned well to see down the other hall from where you're at. Do you want to move to the other side of the tracks?
No, she's just gonna.
Okay.
But she actually will look at Harper. Are you going to be? Well, you got rid of your gun, yes?
Right. Bannister has it.
So you're just going to carry this man through this entire place?
That's the plan.
I guess I'll keep the lantern then. She pulls her bacillard.
You hear a soft clinking sound of stove iron behind you. Warren, what are you doing? Oh, you're already inside the turret.
Yeah, I'm looking over the bodies.
Yeah. So Warren, Banneker, and
Diagnosing.
and Eugene step inside the chamber, and it appears that unfortunately, the bodies of these children, they're in various states of decay, and the smell is pretty overwhelming in the case of a few, whereas one, the blood has only begun to coagulate on the ground. Or you need not really test for this, as this child has been recently killed. And you can see that these children, strangely enough, appear to be killed ritualistically, as their wounds are always across their throat. And being in a place like this and seeing this kind of this terrible thing, those who don't have indifference need to make use to resist against stress.
Difficulty?
It is challenging.
I've not made one roll tonight.
You feel your heart begin to race once again, Banneker, as you gain 3 more corruption, and oh man, 10 mental peril again. Whew.
One skill.
Ooh.
Oh, your skill works.
Do I see you all?
And you can hear them kind of talking among one another, and they quickly communicate what they've seen.
I'm going to, because the smell is overwhelming, and I see him like reeling from it. This may help, and I'm gonna dig around in my pack for a moment and pull out some smelling salts, not for one each of you guys. And I'm gonna take one myself.
Sure. Thank you.
Warren waves it away.
Remember, it's a corruption if you take a smelling salt now, but you move 1 step of the peril condition track.
One, though, right? Just
That's
one?
right, just
Yeah.
one.
Well, I'm already at 7, so if the roll's good, I'm fucked.
Yeah, you were on order. So
Terwin, I would like for you and Elisa to make challenging awareness tests where you're standing.
This has been my most chaotic character. Doesn't show from this round.
Those are rookie numbers. You need to pump those up, mister.
Nope.
Ooh, a 10.
Terwin, you see movement down the hall, and if Elisa's lantern was positioned in a little bit better position, she would have seen it too. But you can see movement down that hallway, somebody passing through the shadows.
Go movement.
Elisa will angle the lantern that way then.
Okay. Elisa takes a step forward to shine the light down the path.
I'll move up with her.
Okay. And as you do so, as you move the light, it begins to illuminate this chamber that's covered in shadows. And there are clearly
Snakes. Tunnel snakes.
figures inside of it. In fact, as your light extends down that direction,
It was a good movie.
you see in the shadows, on the edge of the light, there are these 4 frighteningly tall people, and the light of the lantern kind of glistens across their ivory and brass masks as you are no more than a handful of steps away from a number of Ciabra. In fact, at the far end of the chamber, the far end of the tunnel, you can see them stepping off of a lift. And these people move with great alacrity and speed, long-legged, limber, with these huge ivory and brass masks, and they're completely unarmed. You see them, they see you. As this happens, you hear this sliding sound in the room with the children as one of the stone walls seems to open up, and you can see a figure, tall and soaring, with another directly behind it, stepping into the room. And this all kind of happens at the same time. This all happens as the light shines that way, and you're looking at the children, and we need to see if you gain any sort of surprise against them. So, here's what we're going to do. I would like for you all to elect the most aware person in your entire group as we will move toward combat.
I don't know. Oh wait, yeah, I don't have any skill ranks. I have a 71.
That beats me.
That beats me by a lot.
Oh, you buddy.
Yeah.
Okay.
I haven't made one successful roll tonight.
This will be the first one.
So,
So
this
we're
is all happening at the same time.
Yeah.
So here's what we're going to do. We're going to make an opposed awareness test.
Okay.
And the person who wins with the most degrees of success will gain surprise. As this is all happening very quickly for both sides. We just want to see who gains surprise first.
All right, guys. I forgot the 10% precise is with my. So I actually have a 61.
So here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna make opposed awareness tests. It is gonna be treated as an easy test. Mine is a
60.
70.
I have a 91.
Okay. So then roll.
I got a 59. So I don't know how to do.
So you take your 5 and then add your perception bonus.
9. So 12.
Nice. So
5 and 9, right? 12.
14.
14.
14.
Sorry.
so I rolled a 20. So I add 2 to 6. So you all gain surprise. And we're just going to go around the table. That's how we're going to handle initiative time. We're just going to go loop to loop around the table like old school D&D. So
Damn it! I cannot believe it.
let's start first with Banneker. Because you made the awareness test, and then we'll move to Eugene, then we'll just go in normal order around the table like this. So, Banneker, you can now see the battleground as you saw it. And if you remember, you're right here with the bow, and you can see across the way there are these 2 tall Siabran interlopers, if you want to call them that, who have came in through a secret door in the stone. Right back here where the bodies of the small children are lying on the ground. The smell in here is pretty overwhelming. What do you wish to do from where you're standing? And by the way, there is a grid on this. I have drawn a grid. So we should have a clear understanding of where to move things and how to shift and position things too. Obviously, if you're a little further away from the table, I can help kind of move things around for you.
Well, I mean, I see them and I got a free action.
So it's a surprise turn.
So that's 3 rounds.
There's 3 action points.
Okay.
So what do you
and
wish
I
to do?
will. I mean, I already have my bow slung, so I'll pull it, knock, fire. Right? I mean, I don't know what else to do.
Okay.
Arm yourself
So
for free.
1,
Yeah.
2, 3.
It
So
is
they're 4 yards away.
Yeah.
So you load up an arrow for 1 AP, and then what do you wish to do?
Well, I am. Ooh.
Shoot their butts.
I'm gonna aim and fire. I mean, that would be my 3.
Okay.
I don't know what the difficulty will be, but that's what
Well, the good thing is that you have, at this point, we'll assume you have light from the lantern. From the lantern coming from Eugene, from the lantern shield, but it's a focused light. So we'll assume during the surprise turn you have the benefit of light. So your chances are easy. They're surprised.
I guess I didn't need to aim.
Take it.
Okay, so aim is 70, easy. Okay, well that's 95. And that is a success.
Okay. So roll damage and add additional d6 fury die for surprise.
8 and 8 is
You
6.
can make it D6 if you would like.
Oh, I definitely want to make it into a D6.
Oh, yeah.
So which one are you turning into a D6?
Well, this one, because
Okay.
it's the lower one. So 11 plus 8 is 19. Oh, son of a squirrel. 21.
Nice.
19 plus 3.
Nice.
18 plus 3. I'm not going to do that twice in one night. God, I
It's
hope
an
not.
The arrow buries into the Siabran's chest, and he doesn't even see, he or she doesn't seem to recognize it as they are seriously wounded. Roll 2d6 chaos dice, see if they suffer an injury.
Come on, chaos. Oh man, I am wrong board.
Unfortunately, no injury. So now we move to Eugene. Eugene, what will you do?
Beginning of the round, draw the rapier, and then they came in like through the wall this way.
Yeah, they seem to come in through the wall right here.
Okay.
Through the wall,
I'm gonna get
yes.
the cornered one and try and I'm gonna charge it.
Okay.
Stab.
Nice. Okay. As you
Battle
Damn it! We're under attack!
2, 3, 4. Okay, you charge forward 4 yards.
Yep.
And you can see the mask kind of like soar and look. The man or creature, if you will, looks down at
I'm
you.
gonna like put the
long
light
and
up into
limber.
his eyes and try and get him while he's blinded.
Love it. It's perfect. You can see that they're wearing these long, almost like scaly serpentine cloaks. The mantle over there, the hood over their face.
I like that.
And their bodies look burned and charred. In fact, they smell like burnt cinder.
Okay. Well, difficulty?
Well, it's going to be trivial because you charged.
91. 74 will do it.
Nice. Okay. Roll damage.
So 1 standard, 1 from charge, 1 from surprise.
Yes. Yeah. I think we will actually do initiative. I think it's going to be smart to do that. So let's go ahead and pass these around, please. Sure. While we're doing all this. Put this up here.
I will
Two hands around, please.
turn my 3 into a
I go last.
6.
Take them down past that.
So I'll just set that to remind myself. 27 points of damage.
27. Wow. As you come charging in with your rapier, you bury it absolutely to the hilt as the Siabran interloper has been slain with one fell blow.
Nice.
Damn, that level up, sir.
Yeah. Actually, I could have done that anyway.
Warren took that last one.
I see the
Marker.
Yeah,
Marker.
yeah,
It's usually between us. Sorry about that. That was
No,
my
you're
fault.
fine.
Okay, anything else you wish to do?
No, I'm out of AP, but I got my free one from my new profession.
Nice. Okay, so we'll now move to Warren. Warren, you are remember, you are somewhere off in the back halls, or
No,
sorry,
he
but
came
you
in.
came. That's right, you came in. It's my
Yeah,
apologies.
he came
right.
in because we're the only. Neither one of us know anything about
That's
that.
right. So, what would you like to do, Warren?
I'm going to take aim.
So, just to be clear,
sorry,
when you
yes.
say take aim, who
forgot
are
to
you
do
going to
both
take
sides.
aim at? And what are you taking aim with? And you don't have weapons in your hand, I believe. So,
Right.
do you want to arm yourself first?
No.
Okay.
I'm going to take aim, and then I'm going to run up and knock out.
Okay. So the one closest to you up here. Okay. You want to charge forward or just hustle?
Just hustle.
Okay. So 1, 2, 3, 4. You come kind of side by side with the pillar, and Warren rushes forward with a big hammy fist, brings them both together to kind of bring out the big haymaker. And you drop. Okay, your test will be trivial.
Okay. Athletics.
I believe so.
Alright, so that'll be a 81% chance to succeed.
Nice.
And it's a 28 success.
Nice. Okay. As you bring your hands down over the Siabran, it kind of hits the front of the mast, and your hand smart as the Siabran kind of slams against the back of the wall and begins to slump down, but she quickly shakes her head back and forth as the serpentine cloak kind of moves with her and the hood falls down, and you can see this like charred back of her head as she's still standing unaffected by the knockout.
Okay, so that was 3 AP, right?
Yes.
You took aim,
Okay,
you
I'm
hustled,
done.
and you did melee knockout. That's right. So now we move to Elisa. Elisa, you have the lamp where you're at. You're positioned right here, if you recall.
Yep.
And you can see down the trestle, down the tracks, there are 5 Siabran, and they're all dressed in almost like, looks like ceremonial masks. The masks are all different and strange. They almost look like, not quite carnival masks, but they seem to show different faces. One is crying, one is filled with laughter, one is full of anger, and they're all gilded with brass and ivory and wood and other metals, other precious metals as well.
Alright, while she's looking, she will go ahead and attempt one of our new actions and try gain insight.
Love it. Okay, so the first thing you immediately determine is that the Siabran are, this is a new action, this is 2 action points. You know immediately that the Siabran, which one do you want to identify?
Let's just go ahead and go with the one in the front.
Closest, okay. Well, the good thing is you have light, so you can see. They are doubtlessly humanoid. Go ahead and make a skill test, a warfare test.
So I will flip to fail on this then.
That's okay.
I don't have warfare, right?
Well, they're humanoid, so that's a test you will skill. You will test. The test is going to be easy for you.
Easy. Okay. So plus 20. So my warfare then would be a 43 plus 20 difficulty, 63, 35 or 53. Either one works.
Nice. What is the so whenever you? I'm sorry. I should have told you what their damage condition is, but that's okay. So you immediately reveal one trait or talent the foe has. It starts with their weakness.
Okay.
Unfortunately, they don't seem to have a weakness, but you do discover something. They are incredibly fast on their feet. They're moving very, very quickly. What that means in game terms is they reduce all their movement actions by 1 AP. They have long legs, and they're soaringly tall. They're large creatures. They stand about 10 feet high. They almost look like if you took somebody and put them in a carnival mirror and stretched them to strange proportions. They look utterly otherworldly. And the other thing that you notice too is that these masks are actually not, is the one who turns their head and looks toward you, the masks are not actually strapped to their head. They seem to be fused with their skin. The flesh kind of meets the mask.
So she's gonna attempt with a leadership, hopefully, to pass this information on to her team and help them out. So I'm gonna go ahead and do an inspiring words.
Yeah. The other thing, as she kind of belts this out, the other thing you notice is that they're only armed with bullwhips and bolas.
Okay. Is this a standard?
Well, what is your current damage condition track?
Unharmed.
Okay, your test will be easy.
52, 62, 72% chance. A 90 will not do it.
So that's 3 action points at this point. So now we move to Harper. You still have Bruno in your hands, and you can see that the Siabran are not far away from where you're at. You're just around the corner, and you can see that Elisa's kind of raised her lantern. She yells out like they're moving quickly. They're not very heavily armed. They're not wearing armor.
Harper's going to move back into the room.
How many yards do you want to move?
I move. My movement is 10. I want to move back and towards like barrels, and I want to hide essentially. So I'm gonna go back there with Bruno.
Okay. You bring Bruno
Take
back.
cover and hide. Basically.
Okay.
Yeah.
Go ahead and make a stealth test. This test will be trivial.
All right. Trivial will be a 70. I rolled a 21. Success.
Okay. As you begin to take Bruno back and move back behind the barrels, you see this kind of something shining on the ground right in front of you, like no more than just within easy reach.
I don't have any light source back here, so
You don't, but you can see it through the darkness somehow.
okay. I'm not going to touch it, but I do want to. I will potentially take my time and look at it.
Okay.
So
As you look down, and at first you think it's a coin that's kind of lodged in the middle of the stone, and as you kind of almost instinctively reach out to pick it up, it's gone.
Huh.
But there is this. As you look behind, right beside the barrel, your eyes immediately turn over, and you can see an unlit lamp.
Huh. Okay. I don't want to set any fires next to these things, so I'm just going to leave it there.
Okay. So now we cut to Terwin, who is literally at the fore of the tunnel behind Elisa right here. You've got shield at the ready and sword as well.
Dufresne, there's 5 up in front of us. Take that one out so we can take them all together. As I'm going to try and use an inspiring words.
Okay, go ahead and what's your damage condition currently?
Unharmed.
Nice. That's going to be an easy test.
Okay, 88%. And an 11 is a critical success.
Nice. So you will all add +1 to your values, peril and damage condition, and you will also add +1 to your initiative values moving forward.
Sweet. Might actually have double digits next turn.
Alright, so that was 1 AP.
That's right.
And then I'm going to move to this square.
Okay,
I'm
so
going to hustle.
okay, so you go 1, 2, 3 yards forward.
One more.
So 4.
Yes.
You're now standing on the tracks. By the way, the tracks are considered hard terrain, so you cannot charge nor run over the tracks.
Cool. Yeah, it was just a hustle, and I have 1 AP left, and I'm going to bank it as I clank my sword up against my shield, ready to withstand them.
Okay.
That's
So
a lot of them.
we
That's a lot of that.
we now move to.
And then,
Sorry, my
the,
apologies, go
the
ahead.
last thing is I'll say, get behind me, to Lisa.
At this point, it is now initiative, and we've already rolled our values. The Siabran interlopers move very quickly. However, Banneker always goes first because it's the beginning of actual combat now. So, Banneker, you obviously are over. If we go back to our battle map, you are standing here. In fact, you're right there with your bow, and you just lobbed an arrow over here. And the Siabran was seriously wounded. The woman in the mask turns toward you, and she is like, if you're standing where you're at, to give you an idea how tall she is. So if you look at Adam in the camera, they stand about this high. Soaring over Adam. Like literally, like if their bodies were elongated, like they were literally stretched. Like they've got really unusual and otherworldly proportions. Their hands, their limbs, their legs, and they're dressed in these very strange masks, obviously. What will you do?
I will load, aim, and fire.
Okay. So you load for 1 AP. You will aim for how many AP? 1 or 2?
1.
1. Okay. And then fire. So normally it would be hard, but this will be a challenging test because you get your friends over here right by the Siabran, but you probably have this one dead to rights if you can drive an arrow home.
Okay.
Go ahead and roll. Go ahead.
Right. You said 55% chance, and Christmas. I have rolled like shit tonight. I'm gonna take one of these.
Okay.
I never do this. But
So I'll take a misfortune. So it's 4 misfortune, 3 fortune remaining.
and 37 does it.
Nice.
Yeah, there we go.
Okay, roll damage.
Aha! That is explosion.
Nice.
Okay, that is 18 points.
Wow. Okay. Well,
Dead.
that is more than enough as that second arrow, thunk, thunk, and the Siabran expires immediately as you bring it to heal. So Banneker, so now it's their turn, and in the thing that you see is you're standing obviously in the tunnel, Terwin.
Yeah.
That as this happens, they proceed to draw their bullwhips, and you notice that their bullwhips are tipped with iron flechettes, almost like not quite cat o' nine tails, but like the ends of them end with like these 3 iron prongs, and they begin to move very quickly. So the first one is going to charge forward along the side of the track. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and he will charge forward for 1 AP because they move very, very, very quickly.
Gotcha.
And you can see this whip. He raises it over his head for a called shot and brings it down, whipping down toward you. And as the irons come lashing out, he has a 75% chance to hit.
Okay.
So that's a 56, which strikes. So as he hits, you will suffer damage due to the blades on the end of the whip and a trait that they have. But before that, we need to do a takedown. It's entangling, so you need to resist with a coordination test.
Okay, difficulty?
It'll be challenging.
Challenging coordination will be 27. And a 0-4 will succeed.
Nice. So
You flipped a fail.
What?
It's entangling. You flipped a fail.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
40.
that's right.
Okay, so
Sorry, bud.
Okay. So Terwin is unfortunately knocked off his feet, and the bullwhip comes down and lashes across him for 11 damage.
Okay, I remain unharmed.
Nice. That's good. So
Wait. Roll one more.
why is that?
That,
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
That's right. You're right. Because you're on the ground and you charged.
Yep.
So 11. So 12 damage.
Okay. I'm still unharmed, but yeah.
Okay.
Gotta be honest.
I'm gonna use this just to roll on because I think
Sure.
that this clattering is gonna kind of sound weird on the
Yeah.
camera, unfortunately. So I'm gonna leave your fortune points here. You have 3 remaining. So that's the first Siabran Interloper's turn. The next one is going to charge as well. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Coming forward, and as you're already on the ground, it is going to take aim and then strike, which gives it a 85% chance to succeed. And I roll a critical success, a 0-1.
Okay.
So what I'm going to do with that is I'm actually going to give myself a misfortune point, to not further punish you. However, because yeah, so you're already off your feet, so you're fine there. And the thing seems to have a dreadful command of its whip. One could say it may be a chattel slaver, so it has master's whip, which means it ignores ineffective impelling when fighting with brawling weapons. That's why the whip is doing damage.
Yeah.
So as it brings the whip down, it is going to attempt to chokehold. So go ahead and roll to resist with a toughness test, and this is challenging.
Okay. Challenging toughness test will be 61. And 91 will not succeed.
Oof. You have 3 fortune points left.
I think I should use one of these.
Yeah.
Well, it's also flip to fail regardless.
Yeah. But there's about 3 more that are coming.
So I now have 6 misfortune. You have 2 fortune remaining.
Alright, so 61
Somebody didn't let.
and a 65 won't do it.
Okay.
Godly man.
You are now caught in a chokehold, and its turn immediately ends, so you suffer no damage. As a result of the chokehold, you will suffer 1d10 plus bronze, so you suffer 7 physical peril.
I remain imperiled.
Okay. So Terwin this thing has a boot on Terwin's throat and the thing wrapped around its neck, and Terwin's dropped his weapons as he's trying to escape the chokehold. He's fortunately suffered no peril at this point. And the others begin to charge forward. And they seem to be moving through the darkness with no challenge whatsoever. And they have a move of 24 when they charge. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 8, 9, 10. I'll actually do that one's turn first. So it charges toward Elisa with the bulb in hand. And it will also, at this point, charge and take aim. So, or take aim, then attack, rather.
Did it charge over the tracks?
No,
Okay.
charge beside them.
Okay.
So its chance to strike is 85. I rolled a 97, but I think we'll use a misfortune point to re-roll that. To see what happens here. 64 is a hit. Because it's an entangling weapon, it's going to attempt to take you off your. It's going to attempt to take you off your feet.
Okay.
For beatdown. So go ahead and resist a challenging coordination test.
Alright, 35. Nope.
The Seabran slaver quickly takes Elisa off her feet, and the weapon lashes down, dealing damage. So, one from charge, one on the ground, and one for the weapon. So it's 5 plus 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 damage.
Okay. I am moderately wounded.
And they move very quickly. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22. Charging down through the other Seabran, pausing for a moment, and hustles toward you for 1 AP, leaving 1 AP left to simply make a melee attack. It does not get the benefits of charge. So its test is 65.
Okay.
You quickly whip around. You can see over here the Seabran. Roll a 32, so it's a strike. It does provoke entailing, so it's going to probably try to take you off your feet. Go ahead and make a...
I have lightning reflexes.
That's a good point. So if you wish to parry this, you can attempt that.
I definitely wish to parry this.
That's right. Okay. So it's just going to be a standard...
75. I rolled no 7.
So you're parrying with your bow? Just to be clear?
He's attacking me with a whip? Yeah.
Okay.
Of course.
All right. So you pull your bow up. So I'll let you know if they use heavy weapons, not necessarily the case here, but you always will risk breaking weapons if you try to parry with ranged weapons. Just keep this in mind. So you managed to, you managed to grab a hold of it and kind of quickly whip away. And you can see that this one's mask is almost like an open maw, and there's like something like almost kind of these small eyes within its mouth, kind of carved in the mask of ivory. Like these almost like doll-like eyeballs inside of its mouth on the mask. The mask has no eye slits for its eyes or nose. It's just like a mouth. Looks frightening. And the final Seabran interloper will charge forward, making the same mistake, not seeing anyone, and just simply move up. Unfortunately, it doesn't get close enough to do anything to Banneker. And now their turn is over. So, Eugene, what would you like to do?
I'm going to charge one that's on Banneker.
Okay. You quickly
wheel it out and go after it.
That's right. So you were going to... Sorry, this is you. You're going to whip around.
I was about to have no
What is your... How many yards will you move?
I have a movement of 9.
Nice.
I will close to get right up on him.
Okay. Charge! So you quickly charge forward. Sorry, I'm going to record something real quick. Okay, you charge forward. It's going to be a routine test.
Oh, boy. 84. I'm going to burn one to roll that.
Okay. That is
'Cause we need to put
one
people down.
fortune point left.
Put people down. 38 success.
Nice. All right. It is going to use a misfortune point to attempt to parry your blow. So go ahead. I will attempt to parry now. Its chance will be 65. Oh, sorry, 55 because you charged. And I rolled a 56. But I think I'll use a misfortune point to re-roll that.
We're burning
Burn
through
them down now.
misfortune.
Burn them down.
So I roll a 0-5.
Oh, wow.
So you lunge forward and like takes one. It kind of lashes around your sword, and you are drawn back and forth for just a mere moment as you're attempting to kind of get the thing off. You're kind of locked in, and then it relinquishes the blow. So that turns us to Elisa. What will you do? You're on the ground.
Getting up can invoke an attack.
No, standing up and moving. Whenever you get up,
Not if I do the caution.
you move 1 yard if you wish. You don't have to, but simply standing up does not provoke an opportunity attack.
Okay. Yeah, she will go ahead and get up.
Okay, you come to your feet. Do you have a skill rank in coordination?
I do not.
Okay, so that's 2 action points to come to your feet.
And bank.
Okay. Fortunately, you have your lamp. We'll assume your lamp didn't spill at this point. That you didn't lose. You didn't extinguish. So you're good. You're a bank 1 AP. Okay. Banneker, it's your turn again.
I will.
Good thing is you have light on the one directly in front of you.
I will
if we
drop
look,
my bow.
Okay. If we look right here on our camera.
Pull my.
This is where Banneker is, and this is where the Siabran is.
Pull my hunting sword and attack.
Okay. So you drop your bow, draw your hunting sword for 0 AP, and then just do a melee attack.
Actually, I'm gonna try a takedown and then attack.
Nice. Okay. It's going to be a coordination test.
Okay.
Your test will be challenging because it's a little bigger than you.
Not really. I'm mountain among men.
It is large. You are not.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. No worries then.
You are not among men, my friend. You are among interlopers to this
36,
world.
and that did not work. But
Okay.
try it.
Okay. So you're not just going to strike now?
I'm gonna strike.
Okay. It's going to be standard test.
Okay. That is a 65, and 53 does it.
Nice. Okay. Go ahead and roll damage
3. I'm gonna turn that to a phase 6
with your final Oath Keeper.
Yep.
Okay.
So 9 and 8, 17.
Nice. It is moderately wounded. Roll 1d6 chaos die.
Damn.
And
Rolling like crap.
unfortunately, nothing else. So
Rolled like
I
4
just
threes.
realized I haven't been adding the additional d6 for large, so I'm gonna do that moving forward. Terwin, it's now your turn.
Okay, Terran's going to attempt to resist.
Okay, you're caught in the chokehold. Go ahead and roll. Your chances will be challenging.
Okay, challenging will be 61. And 82 won't do it. So that's my turn.
Okay.
We have one more if you want to take it. Get yourself out.
No.
Caught in ye old chokehold. The thing stands over Terwin. So that now brings us to Warren. What will you do?
Warren is backed into the corner, so when she turns around, her eye is glowing bright red. She
So-
looks pissed.
Okay. What will she do?
She is going to. She's gonna run up to the Siabran and attack with a bullwhip.
Okay. You come forward 1, 2, 3 yards.
Okay. And attack.
It is going to be a standard test.
All right. That'll be 58% chance to succeed. And 31 will do it, and that triggers a. It's a tangling, so that triggers either a takedown or chokehold.
Which will you do?
We'll do a chokehold.
Okay. It will attempt to resist. Its chance is not so hot. It's going to be a 45% chance success. I rolled an 81, but I think I'm going to use this misfortune point to re-roll. Because this could be bad for it. It's 45, and I rolled a 45 on the nose.
But it flips to fail, doesn't it?
It does, 54. So it is now caught in a chokehold. So go ahead and roll 1d10 and add your brawn bonus. Determine how much peril it suffers.
When I maintain a chokehold, I do deal damages using it as if using a barehanded weapon.
Nice. So you do peril and damage. Okay, so how much peril does it suffer first off?
So that's d6 plus...
D10.
D10 plus brawn.
10 plus brawn. Okay, thank
Yep.
you.
D10 plus brawn.
Yikes. That's going to be 21. What?
She is attacking.
You rolled a 9 or 10, right?
I rolled a 10.
Yeah.
So she is now ignoring 2 skill ranks. Or sorry, the Siabran's ignoring 2 skill ranks with that. Now what's the damage that it suffers?
So I roll d10 again?
No, it's
No,
normal
this is
damage.
so
Oh, just a barehanded attack.
Yeah, barehanded attack. That's 3 plus brawn bonus.
14.
14.
11 brawn.
She's a beast.
She is a beast.
She is a beast. I thought you just knew.
She is clearly here. You
Like
can see
the whole area is like lit up with
No,
red.
That's right. Her single eye is burning orange, and the Siabran is grievously wounded. Roll 3d6 chaos dice.
There's a 6. There's a 5.
It's a pummeling weapon.
Yep.
So we'll only do moderate. So go ahead and roll percentiles for me.
Hi.
That's a 19.
19.
At least it's not like Fortune's Mercy.
Yeah. Fortune's Mercy would have been awesome. Okay. So you rolled 19. I'm sorry, is that what you said?
Yes.
Well, until fully recuperated, it reduces its encumbrance limit by 3. So I'm going to drop its initiative by 3 and its movement by 3.
Nice.
So okay, cool. Yeah. So that's your turn.
Yep.
And that brings us to Harper finally.
So we've hidden successfully.
Yeah, Bruno's obviously like laying against
Yeah.
the barrels or the stone.
Yeah. And then there's this lantern here.
A lamp, specifically.
Sorry,
Yeah.
lamp. Yeah, I'll take another look at that to see if there's anything. Is there anything else I can kind of glean from that, or does it look like it's? I'm gonna actually grab it and shake it. Does it feel full?
As you expect it, you see a shattered vial on the ground, and at first your mind turns toward it must be empty, but the lamp is completely full.
Huh. Interesting. For some reason, there's a full lamp next to all these barrels of pyre shot. Kind of curious, but I don't want to set the light off to let them know that I'm here. So, yeah, I'm gonna just. Yeah, I'm not really sure what else to do, so I'm gonna just kind of keep hidden, keep quiet.
Okay, so stay back here.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's move now to initiative. So, Siabra have a 19. Then we have Elisa. Wow, Banneker got 23. Nice. And we've got to get some rolls here still from Harper.
Yeah. Oh, actually, I'm not gonna be last.
So then you're pacifist.
What happened? He doesn't pacifist?
Yeah, it doesn't
Yeah,
fight.
he's a pacifist.
What the hell did that happen? Did I miss that?
Yeah, you did.
You did.
Yeah.
That was the
Okay.
second
You're,
list, yeah.
Okay.
So,
Whoop, you're like,
Banneker,
what's
it's your
going
turn. It's your turn. What will you do?
Sorry, I didn't know that, man. I was like, what is he doing?
Why is our
We're getting
gunman
fucking killed in
hiding?
here.
Yeah, I mean, at this point, consider this. I mean, the story's kind of led Harper. He's like, he feels defeated.
Yeah.
That's kind of what drove him toward picking up Adherent.
Yeah, and that's why he handed you his gun.
That's right.
Yeah, remember, you
I
got
see.
that triple barrel gun, bud.
I got it, but I
We
get
need
the
to
sword
put
in my
Harper
hand
down
right
so we can get a new character.
now. I am going to.
Wow.
The one directly in front of you is grievously wounded.
I am going to take that puppy out.
Okay.
That is my plan.
With what are you doing?
I'm just going to attack this first time.
Okay.
Hopefully, move up and take the other one down.
Okay.
That's fine.
Go ahead. Go ahead and make a melee attack. This is standard.
Okay. 09 is a success.
Okay. It is going to attempt to parry with this misfortune point here. As a 60, a 60
squirrels.
65%. The Siabran's literally. I mean, it's on the ropes. And I rolled 82. It's a failure. So roll damage.
That is 13 points.
Nice! Okay, the Sea Harbor Interloper has been dispatched. What weapon were you using?
Hunting sword.
Oh, I love it. Roll percentiles.
Percentile.
Yeah, let's find out what happens to it.
07 again.
07, okay. How is this thing slain? Your weapon carves an arc from the foe's temple through the jaw and deep into the shoulder, causing you to be showered by an arterial spray of blood. So that's one action point.
Then I will close. Wait.
You only have 1 yard, so you can't charge.
Oh, damn it! I don't have it. Oh wait, yeah.
There's about 1 yard here between you and it. So we'll move back to the battle map because you're standing here.
Dang it!
There's about 1 yard between it and you. It's standing on the trestles. No more than just a few feet away is the child that had been ritualistically slain recently. The smell in here is overwhelming.
I'm trying to figure out. I will drop my sword, pull my gun, and fire for my take him down range.
Nice.
Range
Okay.
take him down.
Go ahead and make an attack. This is going to be routine.
See if it works. Routine on the note. Oh wait, actually 75. So 64 is good.
So Banneker drops the weapon. There's like the Mandalorian, you shoot toward its leg. It'll attempt to resist a takedown.
Take that.
Which its chances are 40%. 53.
Nice.
Boom! The Sea Harbor is knocked off of its feet.
All right, guys. She's all yours.
Okay.
It is all yours.
So it's now. Unfortunately, it is now their turn.
That thing is.
It is now their turn, unfortunately, and the first thing it will do that you knocked it off of its feet. It's going to stand up. And it's going to get up for 1 AP. And as does anybody have? And because where it's at, it's going to actually recede deeper into the caverns. So it's going to move 1, 2, 3.
I have a ranged weapon.
Do you have a reach weapon?
I have a ranged weapon in my hand.
That doesn't mean anything. You have a reach weapon, you can take an opportunity attack.
Why can't I shoot him with
It's
an
not engaged.
Because otherwise you'd be taking opportunity attacks all the time.
It's not. If it was engaged,
Yeah,
it'd be a different
engaged,
story.
yeah.
I have
4,
a reach weapon. Was I
5,
Yeah.
6. What do you have in hand?
Whip.
Oh yeah, you. Let's find out. 1, 2. No, you're not.
Okay.
Unfortunately. And you can only do it when they're engaged anyway. Reach, you can't do opportunity attacks. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And it turns around, pausing, and looks down the way toward you as its mask kind of turns toward you. And you're in darkness, but you can see kind of with the lights filtering through, you can see from where you're at, Harper, you can see that this thing is kind of looking toward you. And it has this long, wicked-looking whip. And it kind of steps back a few paces. What's your adherent trait?
They would have a minus 20% to any attacks or parallel stunts against me.
That's what I thought. So I think what it's going to do is close the distance, but it's approaching very apprehensively. As I'm assuming, Harper, you have your symbol held before you at least, because it would recognize like Harper's unarmed, but this thing clearly believes something is amiss. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Its turn is over. It's all 3 action points. However, the one that has Terran on the ground will do its next amount of peril. So it's 1d10 plus brawn. So you suffer 15 physical peril, and it still has Terran held on the ground. The one that is in front of Elisa, armed with a bullwhip, actually will begin moving. 1, 2, 3. And you kind of swing out wildly as it's just kind of keeping the distance closed. And you see that it at this point it's 1 action point. the thing will spend another action point to put its bullwhip away. Spend a third action point to pick up a bowl, to draw a bolus, and begins spinning it overhead and spends a misfortune point to lob it the direction of the three of you. So it's going to go immediately toward 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So
Bring it on.
it's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It'll go toward her. So she throws the bola toward you. It has a 65% chance for success. Roll a 57. So the bola strikes. And I think what it's going to do is attempt to choke. So go ahead and resist a chokehold if you would, please.
Okay.
This is going to be probably a challenging toughness test.
That's an awful experience.
All right, so 61% chance to succeed. And a 21 succeeds.
Nice, okay. The bola wraps around your neck and you kind of pull it off, throwing it to the ground. And then the final Siabran will 1, 2 step forward, surrounding Elisa on either side in a pincer attack with its bullwhip. It steps forward for 1 AP. It will take aim for another AP, and it will lash down toward her, attempting to strike. So this is going to be a 75% chance to strike. I rolled a 68, which hits. Do you want to attempt to parry?
Yes, I do.
Okay, it's going to be a challenging test against its bullwhip.
Save some initiative for the rest of us.
Yeah, buddy.
And don't forget you have a +1.
So we're right here at this point.
2. I'm gonna ignore that critical failure.
Oh, nice! Oh, using that Oathkeeper. Nice.
Do I re-roll or just ignore
It says
the
re-roll
effects?
critical failure. Yeah.
Oh, was it re-roll?
Yep.
I thought it was
It's
ignore.
not ignore.
I swear it was ignore.
Let's look at your your ability real quick.
It may either ignore any one critically failed skill test.
Oh, just ignore.
So
Okay.
you fail regardless, but at least it's not a crit fail,
Yeah.
It's not a
which is good. So as it lashes around your neck, you're being choked. As it will deal. Oh Jesus, that's a cocked dice. 10, roll 10 again. 15 physical peril, and you were caught in a chokehold. And that now comes to Elisa's turn. Elisa, you need to attempt to resist. It's a challenging toughness test. Or, sorry, standard toughness test. My apologies.
Toughness?
Yes, you can feel the life being snuffed from you.
Standard 42.
Yes.
14 will do it.
Nice! She grabs a hold of it and kind of relinquishes the hold of the whip. And you're still standing, which is good, with your lantern in hand, but you had to have... I'm sorry, you need both hands to get yourself free, so the lantern probably dropped to the ground. Roll a d6 chaos die. If it falls on 6, the lantern winks out.
2.
Okay. The lantern clatters as it hits the ground, and we will actually just mark the lantern with a little box, I think, on the battle map, just so we have an understanding of where the light is. So we'll put it right about here, in a good position, at least, where it drops. It drops right in the middle of the tracks. So, Elisa, you are unarmed at this point, but you're at least free of the chokehold. What will you do?
So I am gonna, well, let's see if it'll work. I never have this work because everybody's fucking immune to it, but I'm gonna attempt a litany of hatred, screaming at them to leave us be as we've already taken out 2 of their priests.
Okay. Go ahead and... What is your current damage condition track?
I am currently moderately wounded.
Her voice is a little raspy. Moderate, you said?
Yes.
So it'll be standard test.
Alright, I'm gonna ignore another critical failure.
Oh,
I can't
man.
roll
Another
tonight.
77.
Yeah, my
I'll
dice
take that.
Whoa.
fucking hate
That's
me
Oathkeeper. Oathkeeper's been nice for everyone at this
Oathkeeper's
point.
What?
Doesn't reroll, it just
tonight. However, a 22 is
It
a
doesn't-
critical
it
success.
doesn't-
Nice! Okay, well,
It doesn't reroll, it just ignores.
Oh, that's right. Fuck,
oh,
never
that's right,
mind.
it only ignores.
Then take that and take my 22.
Okay. You roll 22?
I rolled a 22.
Yeah.
Oh, a crit
I don't want to lose.
success?
Critical
Yes.
success.
Screw it.
As she
Do it.
screams with a raspy voice as she's been choked, at first you think it falls on deaf ears.
I have
But
multilingual.
because she has multilingual, and because she crit succeeded, she says something in a tongue that clearly they understand the gesticulations, and they will lower their damage or provocation tracks by -1.
Hey.
So they're suffering from some pretty
Sounds like
nasty
easy.
stuff at this point.
Huh?
Anything else you wish to do?
Okay, so that was
Oh,
1 to get up,
breakfast.
1 to do the Litany of Hatred,
Yep,
right?
that's right.
No, I was already up.
Next. You
So
are.
1 to do the
thought
Litany of
I saw
Hatred,
you
1 to
next.
break the
Yeah.
chokehold, right?
No,
None to break,
three.
0 to break chokehold, so 1 to do Litany of Hatred. You have 2
So I
AP
have
left.
2 AP left. Is
You're
my
right
is my weapon out of easy reach?
No, your weapon's beside you, but it'll cost you an AP to arm yourself with.
Okay, will
You never
that
dropped your
invoke
weapon.
anything?
I guess you did drop your weapon.
Right, it's a chokehold. So would that invoke anything?
Drawing a weapon never provokes an opportunity attack unless a traitor talent says otherwise.
Okay, then I will go ahead and pick it back up.
Well, which is your what? Your Basilard?
Basilard.
Okay. She pulls the Basilard up from amid the sand, the salt rubble on the floor.
And screw it, I'm gonna attack the one that's right in front of me. Well, yeah, because I am not within range to be able to help tear one up, am I?
Unfortunately not. The thing has kind of grabbed with both of its limbs. It's like holding the rope. The whip, and kind of place its foot on his chest, holding him in place. And you can see the light kind of going out of Terwin's eyes. Roll to strike. It's going to be a standard test.
Ought 6 will hit.
Okay. I have 1 misfortune point left, but I'm not going to parry. Roll damage.
Well, just brag about it. Why don't
Yeah, it's like
I'm gonna
You just-
be-
hey, to be fair,
Wow.
it's 0
No.
fortunes,
To
1
be
misfortune.
to be
fair.
the person who screws over, but she just spit one and you put it in the pile and that up with yours.
He's actually right.
Yeah,
What's
You
that?
should have a second.
You should have a second.
Because she just spent one, you toss it in the pile with the others.
Oh, that's right. You're right.
Thanks!
Good call. So 2 misfortune.
Ooh,
Thanks for being
well,
honest.
6,
Hey, she got 6.
Whoa!
9, so that'll be 14 damage.
Whoa!
You actually heard it. That's all that matters. You heard it.
Yes!
So
It's the only reason.
it is moderately wounded.
Nice. Okay, because we got the -1.
Roll a. Yeah, that's right. Roll a 1d6 chaos die. See if it's injured.
Wish I had Oathkeeper left. 5.
No injury. Okay. That brings us to Harper Clavier.
So
So
Harper,
he took my.
It was Warren.
Holy-
You handed me his thing a minute ago.
Oh, it's Warren. Oh, I'm sorry. Warren, my apologies. Sorry about that. That's fine.
She will.
Or her. Sorry, yes. What will she do?
She will run into the room screaming as she does, doing a litany of hatred.
That's already happened,
Already
so you
did it.
can't do anything there.
So I can't
They're already
do the
suffering.
action at all.
You
Well,
can
it's
absolutely
the
actually have
effect
they'll have no mechanical effect.
Okay.
Yeah, you
so I
can't do
have
plus
I
two.
have a trait that allows me to do something with it different than the normal one.
Oh, well, you can still try that.
Okay.
Absolutely.
So yes, I want to do that.
Yeah, you can do that.
So difficulty
What's your current damage condition track?
unharmed.
Nice. It is going to be an easy test. How far do you want to move into the room?
I'll move 9.
4. Do you want to become engaged
Yes.
with the one in front of you?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. You rush forward, your hands out, and she's screaming at the top of her lungs. She's screaming something in a tongue you cannot understand. It does not sound like Warren's voice at all. It sounds like clearly like a raspy woman's voice, a gravelly, deep rasp. What does she say? Is it something in a tongue they can't understand?
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
Not even Elisa can. So this is
Hand signals.
a intimidate.
Yep. It's an easy test for you.
I'd like to roll secret signs to know what she's saying.
So that'll be 71% chance to succeed.
waving
And
flag.
6 will do it.
Nice. What
And when I
happens?
succeed, whenever you use intimidate, foes get -20 base chance to all skill tests for the next 24 hours.
The one or many? And what trait are you talent are you talking
This is
about?
the evil eye.
Okay, tell me about it.
Whenever you successfully intimidate, foes get -20 base chance to all skill tests.
Nice. What's your fellowship bonus?
4.
All the Siabran, at least who are here,
So 3.
who can hear you,
Mhm.
have a -20 to all skill tests.
Christmas.
And then I'll use my last action point to attack with the bullwhip.
Water. Okay. So you need to draw your bullwhip, or is it already drawn?
It's already drawn.
Okay, cool. Okay. You lash out with your bullwhip. Your test will be routine.
It's large.
68% chance to succeed. And a 21 will do it.
Nice.
And
That's good.
I'll do chokehold.
Okay. Well, its chances are 15%.
It was already a weakness.
With a
Yeah.
flip to fail.
Just to clarify, Evil
15%.
Eye is from what?
Evil Eye is one of the drawbacks I got, or
Disorders?
disorders I got from the last.
Or is it
upgrade.
You mean
the
it's not?
manifestations?
Demanning.
So, to be clear,
It's not the drawback. It's the
demonic
gift or whatever. Yeah.
okay. So, let's double check that on Mongosh if you would between turns.
Okay.
But yeah, so my tip to resist first off. So 15%. I rolled an 86, so no. There's copies behind you. That's my copy, please. Thank you.
Yes, it is that copy.
He has those
Yeah,
two. Yeah.
Oh,
That's not the right. No, don't use that. That's the wrong copy. Sorry. Yellow interior is collectors. Just use the ones behind Adam, please.
So many
it's under
books.
Liber Daemonium. So it doesn't resist. So you chokehold or take down.
Chokehold.
Okay. Roll 1d10 and add broad bonus. Do it after your turn is over, please. Okay. Check.
It's 21.
that brawn bonus.
So this is
You've
the
seen his
same
brawn,
one
right?
who'd been choked before. So it's as she brings the whip around the thing's throat. What do? She's unconscious.
Oh, she's unconscious?
What happens when you bring her close to you? What happens? Explain to us in narrative terms what happens.
Well, she has the, I guess that is a crippling constrictor trait, so she will just...
Explain to us in narrative terms what happens.
She will just bring her close to her and just squeeze her neck until just chokes her out, basically.
You squeeze you squeeze and squeeze and squeeze, and you can feel the kind of crusted, burnt flesh against your own as you bring the Siabran in like in a bear hug, and you hear this kind of soft pop sound as you realize you dislocated one of her vertebrae, and and the Siabran falls to the ground unconscious. So this now brings us to
I also do damage.
how much damage you do?
As if a barehanded weapon.
Right.
So
D6, so 12 damage.
Oh, one still 12.
So it's moderately wounded. Roll 1d6
It's also on the ground.
Roll 1d6 cast die.
That was
But you choked it out. It's on the ground, and you get damage for.
So time out. Let's be clear here. When you do a chokehold, your turn's over.
Right.
Nothing else happens. That's why they weren't doing damage to you when they provoked chokeholds earlier. So there's no damage to be added here if you're doing a chokehold.
Okay.
If you did, and if you took them down, different story.
okay.
So just to be clear.
So when do I maintain?
Well, hold on. Let's double check this. So you have an ability that allows you to do damage along with your chokehold.
When I maintain the.
Okay, you're not maintaining yet.
Okay. All right, then that's
Okay.
it.
You just this point's initiated.
Thank you.
On your next turn,
Yeah.
Then,
you'll do damage. That's right.
Gotcha.
So
Okay.
roll d6 chaos die to see if it suffers an injury. Or sorry, you
Okay.
don't have to do that. My apologies. You don't do anything.
Okay.
Your turn's over.
I'm done.
So check your evil eye in Mongosh. We move to Harper. Harper, what will you do?
So Harper's going to hold out his holy pendant in front of him and say, I don't know if you understand my language. Surely you understand the will of the gods. Your quarrel is not here. If you seek violence, you should go elsewhere.
It's good. Go ahead and roll a bargain test. This test will be hard.
Hard bargain. 23.
Sounds like an awesome movie. Hard bargain.
83 is a failure.
You plead with the Siabran, but it doesn't seem to stop its approach as it's slowly kind of moving toward you like this. And it still has this whip in hand, but has not made an attack yet. It seems to be very apprehensive to come toward you, but eventually the Siabran comes so close that you're literally almost breathing face to face with what you're breathing up on its mask, kind of standing stalwart and not moving. You're just kind of held fast where you're at, and the thing has the whip. It's one action point so far. So what will you do? Bruno was behind you against the wall where the gunpowder and the lamp is.
Well, you see, I'm kind of a bit new to this. It says what I want to do is I want to pull out my, because because I have a pipe and a striker.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna pull that out and like clip that and go. Now I'm not trying to be violent here. I'm trying to get away from that. But if you mean me harm, click, click.
Fair enough. Go ahead and make an intimidate test. This test will be trivial. The Siabran, she looks down toward the powder kegs and looks toward you, and let's see if you can convince it.
Yeah, so 72. And that is 85. Damn it.
Okay. Clearly not.
Otherwise, I'll just hold my last AP then.
Okay. All right. Unfortunately, you plead with it, and then you threaten it, and the thing does not seem to be dissuaded from any means of violence at this point. And now we move to Terwin.
Terwin is going to
Oh, you have to resist.
roll around on the ground and continue to try and clutch at the whip around his neck.
So it's a routine test?
Routine.
Please.
That'll make it 81. And a 98 won't do it.
Terwin is on the ground, and things are not looking good. His turn is over. Eugene?
Well, I'm going to charge around the corner, and ought to go after the one choking Terwin, even to go after the one trying to kill Lee.
You're going to... Oh, whoa.
Oh, sorry.
Before you start rolling anything, I don't understand who you're charging at.
The one on Terwin.
Well, I was going to charge around the corner because I heard more were coming.
Okay.
And then just snap decision, go after one.
So to be clear, 1, 2, 3, 4, you cannot see the one on Terwin. You can see it on the map, but you, the character, have no idea that they are on top of Terwin. So what I'm going to allow you to do...
target one.
That's right. I'm going to allow you to hustle forward for 1 AP instead of charging.
Okay.
So you can correct your action.
Okay.
So that leaves you 2 AP remaining.
Okay.
So you can still hustle forward and attack, but I think it's important to remember that despite the fact that you may be able to see the battle map, the reality is that Eugene clearly didn't have line of sight.
Okay, that's fine. Then I will move forward and attack.
Okay.
And the one on Terwin.
Okay. Your test will be easy because it's maintaining a chokehold.
21 success.
Nice. Roll damage. Remember, if you move it at least 1 step down the peril damage condition track, it relinquishes the chokehold.
That's gonna be 8.
That's enough.
Yes!
Somebody rolled a linear hatred earlier. So it is lightly wounded. The chokehold is released from the Siabran on Terwin, and we now turn toward initiative.
Okay.
Okay, so give me your cards if you would.
Hey, I held on to
Ready.
one, right? Oh, it held on to me.
Did I put it on both sides?
Yeah, you kept one tied up. Oh, wait, no, you kept 2 tied up.
I couldn't give you.
You know the other 2.
Oh no, it'd be dangerous.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow, Banneker got a 29.
You know, what?
Yeah. That was.
He's a watchman now.
You're you went with Watchmen?
Yeah.
Oh.
So
I told you I was going to mid-max this thing.
Sorry, that's right. I thought you were something else for
Banneker with the initiative, what will you do?
I will pick my hunting sword up for one.
Okay, that's right. So you grab your hunting sword off the ground. So let's move to the battle camera. So you are right here.
Okay,
What's
and I have
catching
seen
over
this
here,
guy,
guys?
right?
What am I catching
Oh.
on? Thank you.
Food.
You're right here. So you pick up your hunting sword.
And I have seen this person, right? Because
Oh, absolutely,
just fired
yeah.
at us.
That's
ran out
right,
of- okay.
that's right.
Ran out of there. Okay, I am going to move up to attack that person on the ground.
Okay, so hustle forward.
Yes.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, or 5.
As long as I can attack, I don't care where I'm at.
Yeah, okay, we'll put you right here on the as you come forward. You're standing on the trestles, which is hard terrain. You notice something. You can see the shadows back in the corner where you saw Harper move to, and you also saw Siabran go back there just a few moments ago. The one that's on the ground is, I believe, currently caught in a chokehold.
Yes.
Chokehold by her. So what will you do?
I will attack it on the ground.
That's an easy test.
Yeah. Yeah. All right, that is a 85%.
I'm right there with you.
Nothing. Okay.
Yeah, roll a 95.
Eugene?
Hold on.
Oh,
I still
sorry.
got...
My apologies.
Oh, wait, no.
That's
Yeah,
right.
that is it. That is it for me.
Eugene, what will you do?
I'm going to
So what's going to be easy for me, guys, just I think something we should start doing as a practice is say, I will spend X amount of action points to move. I will spend X amount of action points to attack. I will spend X amount of action points to do special actions because I don't know.
Okay.
So let's put that on you all now.
That's fair. You do that for us.
Yeah. So let's go ahead and have you do that because it'll be easier and it'll be less confusion on my part. So we now move to Eugene. And Eugene, you're right here, and you just lunged at the Sea Opera.
Yep.
And with the new type of initiative we're using, like you're right back up.
Yep. And I'm gonna aim and strike at him. So aim for 1 and strike for 1.
Okay. Your attack will be routine in that case. Sorry, easy. My apologies. It's
still works out. 61 will still do it. So that's a hit.
Okay. It will attempt to parry with a misfortune point.
Gave that to him.
So,
I did.
Quick point of order. Warren or her, Evil Eye. What did we find out?
I'm still looking.
Evil Eye's under Liba Daemonum.
I couldn't find it in there.
I'll look it up.
Okay, so let's try to find it
Okay.
in whatever books it came from, because if you can't find it, it is not active.
All right.
So it's going to attempt to parry for a 35% chance. Roll a 40, so it failed. So again, roll damage.
Okay. All right. Let's kill this guy. Womp womp. That sucks. So I'm going to turn my last Oathkeeper.
Nice.
Turn that into a 6.
Okay.
To get Tyrwin out of this.
Here.
That's going to be 17 points of damage.
Whoa. So that's 2
Three.
steps down. So it's now lightly.
That was badass.
It's now seriously
Every day.
wounded. Roll
Every
2d6
day.
chaos dice.
6.
Whoa. Roll percentiles.
And 69.
Oh, damn it!
Holy
2 sessions away!
if. Okay, so
You're
69
looking up Evil Eye, Nick?
Yeah.
is a.
It's on page 330. It's a taint of chaos.
So
Okay.
it suffers a skull fracture. And until sorry, my apologies, a stress fracture. Until recuperated, it cannot counterspell, dodge, or parry.
Dope.
So anything else you
I
wish to
love
do?
that.
the PDF.
No, bank my last 2.
Okay.
Well, I'll bank my last one, and then I got my free dodge. So I'm ready for this thing.
Cool. So Elisa, it's your turn.
Alright. She is going to go ahead and take another swipe at the one in front of her for 1 AP.
Okay. Standard attack, or sorry, standard test. My apologies. Sorry, routine test. It's bigger than you.
Routine?
Yeah.
Okay. Alright, so I have a 62% chance to hit. 30 will hit.
Nice. Roll damage.
And, damage.
Now I'm at a
That's a
plus
6
12.
on the die.
Yeah, it is.
9, so 14
Every round
points of
back.
damage to the one in
Whoa,
front of me.
whoa. 14 damage?
Yes.
It is grievously wounded by the Basilard. Roll 3d6 chaos dice.
Yeah.
That is not a 6. That is not a 6. Damn.
No injuries.
I got a 6 on the damage. That's all I care
Yeah,
about right at this moment.
Good. So anything else you wish to do?
So then I am going to go ahead.
It's going to use a misfortune point, by the way, to go what's called the damage condition track and move back seriously.
So now I can't attack again because I have the AP for it, right? We figured that out?
No,
If you
it's
It's if
successfully.
you miss, right?
Yep.
If you miss.
Only if you miss, right?
Okay.
Oh, shit.
Then instead,
What was I thinking?
I am going to attempt
I
to
didn't work.
blind them by kicking up some sand into her face.
Okay. So do you have a free hand to do that?
A Basillard's only one-handed, right?
Okay. So you pick up a handful and it's going to be
It's
off. Do you,
It's not sand. It's
so-
salt. Which
Fucking
is
salt.
to clarify,
Okay.
do you have ambidexterity, the talent?
I do not.
Okay, so this is a routine guile test, but flip to fail. It's an offhand.
Okay, routine guile, flip to fail.
Yes.
Are they a different social class from me? Because I have 4 tons. No, I'm kidding. That does not work that way.
You're not interacting with it.
No, it's fine. 33 is a critical success.
Nice! Not only is it blinded for this turn, it's blinded for next turn as well. Or no. Let's do this instead. It's defenseless.
Yeah, 2 turns.
So I have 1 AP left.
Just one turn. Defenseless.
Defenseless.
until the beginning of her next turn.
To the beginning of
Or their next turn, rather.
Oh, their next turn is.
Their next turn.
Okay,
Sorry,
okay.
yeah.
I was
so
gonna
next
say
turn,
because they're
yeah.
right now.
This is where the rounds gets
Yeah.
unfortunately a little muddy.
Then for my last AP, I'd like to try to knock it out.
Yeah.
Nice. You can absolutely do that. Your test is going to be.
Sure, you did the perilous stuff.
Oh shit! Yeah, you only get one perilous stun, and I don't have any.
Oh, that's a good
tried.
point. Okay. Anything
Then
else
I
we should
will.
do?
I will bank.
Okay. Well,
she will, however, yell out, "Kill it!"
the Siabran is defenseless, and it's its turn. And what it's going to do is it has the bullwhip still in hand, and it's going to attempt to disarm my apologies, Elisa, for a what we determine an evil eye. What does it say?
It says, whenever you use a successful intimidate test, one foe suffers negative 20.
So we can assume it was probably this foe then.
Yes.
So this was okay. Okay, good. Thank you for that clarification.
Thank you.
So it is going to be a 60% chance to do this, to disarm.
But he rolled critical.
I'm sorry.
That's why you gave it to everybody. Is he rolled critical?
I gave it to everybody because I thought that's how the ability worked.
Okay.
But I think we'll just keep that in play. We'll keep it in play. Why not?
Sure.
Makes sense. There's a sense of walking it back. So it does not disarm for its perilous stun. But doesn't necessarily mean it's not going to try to do something. As it is going to. I think this time it's probably just going to do a. Missed before.
Yeah.
I'm
pretty sure.
I think it probably makes sense for the thing to gain some ground. It's going to maneuver away for one action point, and then proceed to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. It comes all the way to the back of the cavern, and you can see it's near a wooden lift that descends downward, and the Siabran turns around toward the lift as to go down, as to lower itself down, as it's moving toward that direction. The other Siabran as well is going to do the same thing, maneuver away for one action point, and go 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. It'll step on the lift that drops down. The other one who's on the ground, I believe, is kind of a chokehold, if I'm not mistaken. So it must attempt to resist, and it's going to. Oh God! 25% chance.
I thought it was unconscious.
Oh, sorry, you're right. It's unconscious. My apologies. You're right.
Hey, they released.
How did I not hit it then? I would have just killed it.
It's all right.
Never mind. It was.
That's a good point. Let's go ahead. Let's do that. Yeah, we'll assume at this point, if we look back at the combat map, we know that these two Siabran have essentially escaped. They're getting the hell out of here. They're trying to leave, and they're coming toward a lift back here. And we'll assume at this point, Banneker just kind of drives the weapon home and kills the Siabran on the ground as it's expired. It's dead. Terwin is still lying on the ground, which leaves the final Siabran, which happens to be near Harper, who has pledged a life of pacifism, or as close as you get to it, right?
Yeah. He's still learning.
So the Siabran drops the whip, and with a pair of long arms, it grabs one of the gunpowder barrels, and that's 2 AP. And for its last action point, it assumes you're not going to attack it.
Right.
Road opportunity attack. So it's going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and it comes up the stairs, and it drops the barrel at its feet. Terwin, what are you going to do?
I'm gonna get up.
Okay. 4.
2 AP.
Okay. Thank you.
You don't have coordination trained?
Gee, no.
Nope, unfortunately not.
A fighter? Coordination training?
Yeah.
So Terran comes to his feet, and you can see the Siabran at the top of the stairs, where you came from originally, and it literally drops a barrel of gunpowder in front of itself.
Does it smash it or?
No,
Break?
it's a barrel now.
Oh, that's what I was wondering. Oh, yeah.
So it does bunk, 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 like it kind of like drops it to the ground. So it's lying in front of it on its side at the top of the stairs, and you see it places one foot on top of it. So, what will you do, Terran?
I'm gonna call out. I'm gonna call out. It's gonna blow it. Put an arrow in it. And then I'll gather my weapons.
Okay.
Because they were dropped when I got
That's
the
right.
chokehold.
That's right. So 1 AP. Okay, cool. So that brings us to Warren, or sorry, her.
Yeah.
What will you do? So to clarify, she is right here, and you kind of can see just barely down. You can kind of see where the Siabran went, and you suspect where it's at. You have a clearer view of it, unfortunately.
Okay.
Now that we have grids, we can actually trace line of sight, and you have no line of sight, but you know at least it's that direction.
Okay. I'll run in that direction until he's...
Run? For 3 action points?
No, I'll hustle that way, yes.
Okay, how many yards will you move?
9.
9? Are you going to engage with it?
Yes.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
Mm-hmm.
On the stairs, the bottom of the stairs, or up top of the stairs?
I'll stay on the bottom.
Okay. All right. You're at the bottom of the stairs, and the thing kind of looks down toward you with the mask, and you can see that there it appears to be that the mask has been carved in the face of what looks like these burning flames. And within the flames, there's these small, tiny cat eyes that are made of jewels that have been placed inside the mask proper. So, what do you wish to do?
I'm going to channel power.
Okay. So, with what weapon?
With the bullwhip.
Okay. You see that she draws she places her hand, and you see this ointment on her hand, and she brings it down the weapon as such. And it's covered in oil. So what are you going to do?
I will attack.
Will you channel for 1, 2, or 3 steps?
3.
So
Chaos AD.
you bring the whip up. It's going to be normally it'd be a standard test because you're on lower ground. It's taller, so you normally have a routine, but you're on lower ground, so it's standard. You channeled 3 steps, so it's a trivial test.
Okay.
Roll that and your 3d6 chaos dice.
All right.
That's what you did.
Okay, so that's going to be an 88% chance to succeed. And a 1 succeeds. And there is 1 chaos. There's 1 6.
Like a
1 critical success and
He rolled a 0.
And a
and
chaos.
I rolled a 6.
Nice.
And a chaos man.
So roll damage for now.
Okay.
To start with.
Oh, well, I guess I'll trigger the...
Well, you roll damage first.
Okay.
Then we resolve the chaos manifestation.
15.
15 damage.
Well,
That uses Ron, right?
Yeah. You're still using the bullwhip, right?
Yes. Okay. 15.
It is moderately wounded. Now, there's something you should know about the profession Fell Knight. When they channel power, if they channel for 3 steps and anything lands on the phase 6, it's a greater manifestation.
Noise.
So,
Fire
what I would like for you to do, hold on to your percentiles for just a moment, because we're going to find out what happens next week on Queen of Embers with the cast manifestation. Everybody gets 1 immediate advance
Is it that
for the
way?
evening.
I need a coordination to be able to lift up this explosion.
So we're going to wrap up for the night. Obviously, give yourself 1 advance. Coincidentally, I think what we should probably do is, I know we said last time it's either 1 advance or 1 focus. If you want to take 3 focuses, do it. Or 1 advance. It's up to you. Yeah. Whew. So we're literally going to pick up next week where we left off on episode 68. Harper, you're going to be next in line for the turn. We're not going to re-roll.
Nice.
But because we did carry over on combat, we're going to refresh the fortune pool.
Cool.
And we will find out what happens with the chaos manifestation at the very, very beginning of next game session. So, Warren, be sure to give yourself 9 corruption for greater manifestation. Or sorry, my apologies. 3 corruption for 3 steps.
Okay.
So, remember, you may also use channel power as a reaction to difficulty rating being called out. So you don't have to do it up front. Although, I guess you could argue maybe you do as a Fell Knight, but we'll discuss that later. So, we need to resolve some corruption. And I think we can pretty much assume at this point that the other Siabran are going to get away. They're gone.
Whoa, mister.
Unless you want to
On
start rolling
strikes first, and I'm going to get another extra round on them.
That's right.
I'm killing those bitches.
So, to clarify, we are continuing combat next game session, not refreshing initiative, so you don't get an additional turn. You go through the normal initiative rounds.
I'm still going to beat them on initiative.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's likely he
And I have 2 shots in my pistol.
So, let's clarify real quick. We're going to continue combat next time, and you don't want to let them escape down the left.
Absolutely not.
Okay, so we'll carry through that. Don't roll any air dice. Don't want to see no other initiatives right now. So let's just go ahead and put your cards up here for now. So what is the cards, please? Don't need your number on it. I just need your card.
You already got it.
So don't roll your values, please.
These creatures
I
kill
already
much
rolled it.
kids. I'm in
So let's
channel.
let's do corruption real quick.
Yeah,
I think so. What's the corruption value? So the value for tonight is we'll roll right here, right in front of the camera. Why not? Will be 4.
I got a
Stupid.
fate point.
Whoa! Awesome.
I was really close to
Fate point. You kind of needed it.
I
mean,
was
you
at
were-
an 8.
Yeah, that's good. That's good.
Okay.
So, next week we'll continue episode 68. We'll see what unfolds with the chaos manifestation, what happens with the barrel. Hopefully your roll doesn't do anything really bad. But if it does, it could be bad for everybody because remember,
What's the
barrels have an explosion.
What's the worst that could happen?
I'm just really hoping
Start a
that
new
wall
campaign.
helps me a little bit, even though explosions.
Chaos manifest firestorm.
Could happen.
So to clarify, just because I think what's important to talk about when we talk about explosions, so it's the quintessential question with fireball. Does fireball explode outward, or does it simply incinerate the air around it?
Fills the space.
Right. Well, a fireball would fill the space, but I think that you would probably get the benefit of heavy cover,
right,
being behind a wall as you are.
If you're actually
It can
asking
happen.
like what happens with fireball spells, yes, he would have heavy cover against a fireball.
Well, I'm talking about Zweihander. So the question always in D&D is like, does a fireball explode outward or does it fill the space? In D&D, it fills the space. Well, this isn't a fireball. This is gunpowder, and gunpowder explodes outward. So because you have where you're at least, if we were to look at the board for just a moment, you're kind of right here. Now, this is only if it happens, right? If it happens, you've got these barrels and these barrels.
Guaranteed 2 party members. There.
But we just have to see what happens. We don't really know yet. That's the excitement of waiting until the beginning of next session to roll.
And I love that it's coming from Nick.
The cast manifestation.
Well, I ran
Of
over
course
there.
it's coming
I ran
from
over there to
Nick.
save the party. Chokehold this person so that he couldn't kick the
You're
barrel.
using that tone of voice that's like. that
I know I TPK guys, but like,
That's right.
I mean,
Hey, it's not a guarantee you
So,
and I both standing right in the open.
I want to clarify one last thing because this is important to remember. And we didn't do this in the middle of combat, but I want you to keep this in mind moving forward. Taints of Chaos must be triggered unless it is a permanent effect. Evil Eye is not a permanent effect. Permanent effect would be permanently adjust your primary attribute bonus to 5. Or change your primary attribute to 9%.
Okay.
It must be triggered, which means you must be suffering from stress, fear, or terror, or have 10 or more corruption in a game session.
Okay.
Now remember, we discussed that she can flip back and forth, but I think that allowing you to flip between more and then back to her is kind of cheating the system. I think we can pretty much assume that during the time that you are her, that you've already flipped. And remember, when you manually flip to her, you gain 6 corruption. So be sure to account for that.
Gotcha.
And so what that essentially means is whenever she is in control, you can take advantage of your Taints of Chaos. But remember, when you make that flip, it's 6 corruption immediately.
Gotcha.
That's why I asked for the tell. So we'll continue next week. Thanks all for coming. Thanks for watching. Thanks for your patronage. We're knocking down goals still. It's crazy. We got like 4 new patrons in the past like 24 hours.
Yeah, we're at record levels. We're at 395.
It's great.
And record number of patrons, we're at 66.
It's great.
Nice.
So that's not 69.
666.
So patrons
600?
patrons at this point should already have access to the Ubasti.
Yeah, by this time.
By this time,
Because it'll be next week, real time.
That's right, and some new stuff for animal commands. Cool.
Yeah.
And those will be probably live for the patrons already too. In real time, will be live on Adam Kobel's stream and pay per thing for Drive Thru RPG. But nonetheless, thanks for your patronage. Thanks for these cool koozies. You're the Zweihander koozies. Thank you. We'll see you all next week on episode 68.
One away.
Queen of Embers. See you later. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.